From breaking the law of physics to some pieces that don't even exist, these are some of the most impossible LEGO sets out there. First off, there's the extremely vintage 420 police car from the old LEGO days. This set came out in 1973. That means it's 52 years old. That's older than most of you watching this video. It only has 19 pieces and 5 steps, but it uses a building technique that's really illegal, as you might have spotted already. There's a LEGO plate in between another plate. LEGO has come out and specifically said that placing bricks like this puts a great amount of stress on them and should never be done. Yet, it seems like in this case, they broke their own rules and printed instructions to prove it. This next one isn't impossible because of some LEGO mistake or error that was missed, it just fully breaks the known laws of physics. With this $55 Sandy's Power Loader mech set, something is very wrong. Carefully look at the end of the mech staff. Did you spot it yet? Look at the 2 claw pieces on top. They're supposed to be clipped, but somehow they're just floating there. This is physically impossible, yet it appears on every single promotional picture for this set. Fortunately, it's fixed in the box art, but how does this even happen? It either has to be a CGI image that glitched or just pure magic. If that one's crazy, this one is just straight ridiculous. This LEGO Frozen 2 set is pretty cute, great for kids that enjoy Disney, but Kohl's doesn't think so, because when you go to buy this set on their website, it's marked as 18+. What is being built in this Frozen set that's only for adults? It also says this set has 678 pieces, which for the $10 price tag is a crazy bargain. Oddly enough, on other websites like Target, it's completely fine. Rated for kids and with 53 pieces, the correct amount. My theory is that LEGO made a mistake and then Kohl's didn't notice it, or maybe LEGO sent them new images, but they never bothered to update it. Whatever it was, something went wrong. Imagine buying a small set for your child and it has over 600 pieces and is not made for kids. Then there's the XL-15 spaceship set. This is a really cool looking set as the spaceship is tilting and that's always hard to design, but the LEGO designers have officially done it. Anyways, as you're putting together the minifigure and its weapon, you'll notice it requires a small sticker. The instructions tell you to put a sticker on the side of the bazooka, but as soon as you go to the next step, there's something kinda weird for those who notice it. It shows the same sticker that's been used already being put on the side of the figure's legs. Although there are some rare really small LEGO stickers, one this small would be crazy, and I'm not sure how this sticker even teleported from the rocket launcher. This Kai Fighter set is an interesting one. It includes a little Easter egg. On the left wing of the jet, there is a sticker with the text TS70721. The 70721 is actually the LEGO set number, but I wonder what the TS stands for. Anyways, as you can see, the set has 2 minifigures, one being the villainous General Cryptor holding a big shoulder-mounted weapon which looks pretty much like a bazooka. This is included in all of the illustrations of the set, but as you're building him, you'll notice something is really off. The instructions actually tell you to build the bazooka the opposite way. If you actually decide to build the gun this way, it looks ridiculously big for the general holding it. As funny as it looks though, it is in the official instructions, so I guess you'll have to follow it. On the other hand, what if you can't even understand the instructions, leaving the build impossible to complete? For some reason, it seems like on this page, the entire box art is being mixed behind the instructions. This might genuinely be one of the most misprinted pieces of LEGO items I've ever seen. Even though the instructions printed are technically right, you'll probably not be able to understand them. Weird enough, this isn't even a one-off mistake. It's on every copy of this set ever sold, and incredibly, somehow even the digital PDF version has this same mistake. It must be some sort of internal graphic error, as this is definitely one of a kind. While graphical errors do happen and you can't always blame LEGO for it, you definitely can for this one. LEGO has blundered so hard on this set that while building, even seasoned builders would think their build is impossible to complete. This is the Mandalorian Fang Fighter vs TIE Interceptor set, having a pretty cool rendition of the TIE Interceptor, but it'll be hard to appreciate that if you can't even complete it. Let's open the box. It has 8 bags of pieces, which is great. Now let's look at the instruction booklets. Bag 1 through 3 for the Fang Fighter. Good. Bag 4 through 7 for the TIE Interceptor. Okay. And finally, bag 8. It's apparently not used anywhere. Even the opening pages of the instruction booklet say the build will be finished by bag 7. This will leave you gobsmacked, until you get to page 92, where they finally utilize the bag to make the last 2 wing panels. Would have been nice to know this beforehand, And as usual, even the online instructions still have this error. This set is an entire cornucopia of impossibilities. It's the 2012 Forest Police Station set with 633 pieces, a couple minifigs, and a couple cool vehicles. But the cover of the booklet is what's interesting about this set. Firstly, notice the police plaque front and center. Just behind it, there's this yellow rail placed exactly 2 studs away from the edge. Keep a note of this. I thought it looked alright, but clearly LEGO didn't think so, because once you open up the instructions and start building, things are very different. If you remember, the yellow rail was 2 studs away from the edge. Well, now it's been moved 1 stud over. You'd think that this is just a small error, but that's not all. What about the police plaque? It's been moved to the complete opposite side of the building for some reason. And that's not even the biggest change. You'll now also need to build an entire tree and place it out front. When you go back to the cover, this tree doesn't exist at all. It's so different from the box art, it seems like this set must have gone through many last-minute revisions. Although it's really fun getting a chance like this to have a sneak peek into LEGO's developmental process. The Hogwarts Astronomy Tower set is a similarly small-sized pretty set with some nice exclusives, though there are a couple of things that have clearly been overlooked. Let's go through them. As we open the instruction manual, one of the first few pages is an index, an overview of what each bag will contain. That's pretty normal. But look at the reference image for bag 6. An entire spire is just missing, gone. But something else is missing as well. In bag 6, you'll be surprised with Draco Malfoy, as it says in the instructions, even though in the overview, bag 6 was supposed to have no minifigures. So, where did Malfoy run off to? Bag 5. That's right. On here, it shows that Malfoy comes in bag 5. So now you might be wondering what actually comes in bag 5 instead. The exclusive Luna Lovegood minifigure. All of these definitely add up and end up convoluting and making the building process so confusing. This set, while being super fun and small with 159 pieces, might leave you even more confused. Pretty clean looking, right? Well, let's build it. Step 27, everything's going well. Step 28, everything's going great. Flip the page, step 30. Wait. Step 30? Yep. For some reason, step 29 in this set is completely gone, vanished. There are no parts missing, nothing skipped, yet the step is missing. This would definitely give me a mild panic attack, thinking my build is impossible to finish. LEGO's out here treating instruction numbers like they're optional, when that's just not true. Alright, this one is a bit sneaky. LEGO dropped this Turtle Beach Minecraft set in 2022, and it's pretty cute looking. Do you think this flower growing directly in front of the pillar here looks pretty? If you did, you'd be devastated as we open the instruction booklet because your flower has moved. It's still there, don't worry, but instead of being by the pillar, it is now by the dock. This is clearly a very small mistake, but how do you even get this wrong? Did no one notice this while shooting the product images, editing them, adding them? That wasn't the only time the image product team were sleeping on the job. In the 2015 Red Creature set with 221 pieces, you can build different red creatures, one of them being the Scorpion. If you look at it in the box art or on the official website, right above the claws, it feels wrong. That's because it is. One important piece is missing. When comparing it to the instructions, there's a black 1x1 cheese wedge that provides a nice finished look, which has somehow vanished from the images. Maybe the photographer just didn't like it or was too lazy. We never know. For the 2022 school day set, one person must have been fired for letting this happen. In the set, bags 4 and 5 were completely misnumbered. This is not just a small mistake. Imagine as you're building, you open a new bag only to find none of the pieces you need in there, leaving the build impossible to complete. Thankfully, LEGO caught it and put a sticker on top to fix the issue instead of just repackaging it. Although I haven't seen this type of mistake before, so I guess it's a cool thing to keep and brag to all your LEGO friends about. In this ravishing looking Poe Dameron build, LEGO seems to be breaking the laws of physics known to man yet again. In the second to last page of the instruction, it calls for you to attach the blaster with a Technic red pin. Seems good to me. Well, in the very next step, it completely vanishes from its spot and ends up in a completely new one, hanging right in the air. LEGO seems to have a thing for destroying a little physics. That's not the only thing that will leave you confused in one of Poe's sets though. In his X-Wing fighter set with over 750 pieces, the LEGO quality control team might have been sleeping on the job. On page 99 of the instructions, there's a small mistake. It first requires you to put 2 pieces and then remove 1. That doesn't seem quite right, but LEGO never makes mistakes, right? What's weird is this same assembly is in the set once again, but here it's normal and fixed. How is it wrong once but fixed in the next? Anyways, are you ever building something and end up questioning your entire existence? Well, that's exactly what happens here. As you're building this dragon in this fancy looking medieval castle, on step 28 and 30, it says to use 2 1x2 plates with connectors, but the build only uses 1 each time. If this was only there once, it would still be alright, but the fact that it's on both legs is mildly irritating and pretty ridiculous. I wonder how many people were left confused, questioning their sanity after this. In this Star Wars set, something really weird is happening. As you're building this Imperial Armored Marauder, look here between steps 30 and 31. A random 2x1 brick appears randomly out of nowhere. No step showing you to place it, this piece just appears magically. If that wasn't enough, it happens once again between steps 47 and 48. You might think it's a printing error, but no. It's also present in the online instructions. This would definitely confuse the heck out of me if I was building it. If you're a fan of the same mistake happening twice and being gaslit, you're in for a treat. In this impressive Batcave set with close to 4,000 bricks, and all nearly the same color might I add, things are bound to get mixed up, and they do. In step 964 of book 4, it asks you to place a couple of bricks including 2 1x1 gray bricks, but in the diagram, only one of them is placed. After you've scratched your head for a couple of minutes thinking it might be impossible to complete your build, realize it's a mistake and go to the next step, it happens once again. In this step, it once again calls for 2 1x1 bricks, but only one is placed. If their job was to bamboozle the builders, they've definitely succeeded. Worse than a brick being called for and then not used is a brick that doesn't even exist. In the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit set, when you hop on to step 17, the part list shows 4 yellow steering wheels. To me, those parts seem very odd. That's because in the entire history of LEGO, there have only been 2 sets that use 4 yellow steering wheels. The TTX double-stacked car from 2005 and the 2021 Cargo Connect Explore set from LEGO Education Edition. What's weirder is that the 4 yellow steering wheels are not given in the set, making this step impossible to do. But if you weren't confused enough, when you look closely, the steering wheels are not even used in the step, so it's being displayed there for no reason at all. This is a once-in-a-lifetime LEGO mistake, and it's still there on LEGO's official website right now. You might think that was ridiculous enough already, but that wasn't the only problem with this set. When a person on Reddit was making their set and eventually reached bag 4, they found an unbelievable mistake. In this bag, you get to make the minifigure for the brand new Han Solo, which might I say looks pretty handsome. Anyways, the builder didn't get to make this minifig as intended because they got a single white leg and single brown leg instead of them both being brown like it should be. This is a very rare manufacturing mistake and impossible to fix unless you have another pair of brown legs laying around. Unfortunately for this Redditor, it's also not a very valuable error that can be sold for a lot, unlike this one, which could be pretty lucrative. For this Star Wars LEGO box, clearly the stars weren't aligned because the entire box is an error. For some reason, the whole box was misprinted, being off-center and wrapping around to the other side. The set is actually not that hard and pieces inside were perfectly okay, but I don't know how this extreme mistake even got through LEGO's QC, though it might just be the luck of the buyer, as misprinted items like these can fetch some money for the right collector. So, which impossible LEGO sets did you find the craziest? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.
From building over 11,000 1x1 studs for a LEGO world map to removing bricks from sets like the Ghostbusters, here are some of LEGO's instructions that just make no sense. And starting off strong, we've got the 76038 Avengers Tower set that comes in at a solid 2,992 pieces. But here's the catch, because it includes 269 window frames and panes of glass. Now, you're never putting together all 269 at once, thankfully, but trust me, doing them a few dozen at a time still feels like a test of your patience and your fingertips. It's like the set is almost secretly training you to have superhero level endurance. But once you do power through the repetitive window building marathon, the result is pretty rewarding. And that's because the tower looks sleek and futuristic with those large blue windows running up the entire height, giving it a cool modern look. Yes, sure, it might be one of the more labor intensive builds, but hey, at least you get a stunning display piece use out of it. Plus, if you ever wanted to know what it's like to be Tony Stark's window installer, well, now's the chance. And that's because the LEGO Daily Bugle set packs a hefty 3,772 pieces and stands as one of LEGO's tallest Marvel sets. And as you dive into the build, you'll encounter step 40, which involves assembling 40 window pieces into 4 groups of 10. This isn't a one-time deal though, because you're going to be repeating this process 22 times throughout the entire build, totaling 347 window pieces. It's a bit like setting up a never-ending office party. Lots of windows, lots of repetition, and you're just going to get bored eventually. Now look, while the repetitive window building can get a bit tiresome, the finished product is pretty spectacular. The Daily Bugle, of course, features multiple floors and a whole roster of minifigures, making it a standout in any Marvel collection. Sticking to Marvel though, the LEGO Avengers Helicarrier set is also a massive, impressive model that brings the iconic flying command center from Marvel to life. As you work through this set, you might encounter a particular moment that sets it apart from most builds, a step where you're actually instructed to remove LEGO bricks. That's right, because while most sets are all about adding pieces to build up the model, the Helicarrier has a rare twist where you need to actually take some bricks off. It's like LEGO threw in a plot twist, making builders do a bit of a teardown before actually finishing it up. This step can be a surprising change of pace to someone, especially if you're just used to stacking bricks together. So when you do hit that removal step, just remember it's all part of the grand design and probably a clever way to get everything just right before you add the finishing touches. All right, now finally moving on with all of that Marvel talk, let's now get right into Star Wars, shall we? Because the Jedi Training Diorama set clocks in with over 1,000 pieces. But brace yourself for steps 42 and 43, because in step 42, you'll be adding 39 tiny 1x1 translucent green plates to set up the swamp base. And just when you think you're done, step 43 comes in and hits you with 177 more to create that bubbling swamp effect. It's like the set's way of testing your patience and precision, and maybe channel some Jedi calm for this part, because it can feel like searching for Yoda himself in all these little pieces. Now look, despite the repetitive tile laying, the final result is pretty awesome. The diorama does nail the swampy, mysterious vibe of Yoda's home on Dagobah, and it looks pretty good on display. Sure, those 1x1 tiles might have you questioning your life decisions at some point, but once it's finished, you'll feel like you've truly completed your Jedi training. Because now, this next Star Wars set does give you a little more room to relax. The LEGO Star Wars Imperial Landing Craft from 2007 is a cool set featuring an iconic Empire landing craft. And as you work through the build, you'll come across step 27, which is notably the simplest LEGO step ever. Why? Because the instruction is to open a parts box that is completely empty. No bricks to place, no pieces to store. It's like LEGO decided to throw in a little breather right in the middle of your build for whatever reason. Typically, these super easy steps pop up towards the end of the instruction booklets, but this one's a bit of an oddball, making an appearance in the middle of the process. It's almost like LEGO wanted to give you a moment to catch your breath and enjoy a brief pause before diving back right into the construction. Now, the Lord of the Rings Rivendell set is a massive 6,167 piece build that's every bit of epic as the journey to Mordor, but without all of the orcs. However, starting around step 216 in the third instruction booklet, you'll encounter a roof tiling saga of your own. Across 4 steps, you're going to be placing 266 tiny 1x1 tiles, yep, once again. And if you want me to break it down, that's 53 1x1 tiles in step 216, 60 in step 217, 83 in step 218, and 70 in step 219. But wait, and just when you think it's all over, surprise, because another 44 tiles in a different section also appear. It's like the LEGO version of the Council of Elrond, only instead of debating the fate of the One Ring, you're endlessly aligning tiles. Now look, despite the roof tile marathon, the end result is stunning. Rivendell does come to life with the intricate details capturing the beauty and elegance of the elven city. Sure, the tiling will test your patience and maybe also your eyesight after a certain point, but once it's complete, you'll have a breathtaking display piece worthy of Middle-earth itself. Just remember to pace yourself though, because elves do live forever, but you might not want to spend that long on a roof. Next, the LEGO Monkey Kid City of Lantern set offers a vibrant and detailed cityscape that's sure to impress. But as you work through this colorful build, you might stumble upon a rather peculiar step, placing 12 Technic pins loosely into a small container. At first, this step might seem a bit confusing, like like Lego is trying to mess with your mind, but there's actually a method to the madness. This seemingly odd instruction is a clever storage trick. By keeping the Technic pins together in a container, you'll have them organized and ready to go for when you need to connect modular components later on. It's a bit like Lego's way of saying, trust us, this will make your life a lot easier. So while it might seem like a pretty unusual step, it's all a part of making the building process smoother and more enjoyable. The Lego Stranger Things set is a fantastic tribute to the hit TV series, packed with iconic elements that fans will love. And look, as you dive into this set, you might encounter a quirky step around step 25. Here, you're directed to stack 3 1x4 plates to match the height of a single 1x4 brick. It sounds a bit unconventional, but again, there's a method to this unique approach. The designer of this set chose this route specifically to sidestep potential mix-ups, partially since the set includes 1x4 bricks with side studs as well. By using plates to achieve the required height, Lego helps prevent confusion about which piece to use and simplifies the building process. It's a clever trick to keep things straightforward and avoid any unnecessary errors. So as you stack those plates, just know that it's all a part of making your Stranger Things build as smooth as possible. Nothing else. No need to worry about a parallel dimension of confusing instructions. Haha, funny joke, let's move on. The Lego Ghostbusters Ecto 1 set is a fantastic tribute to the classic movie, packed with iconic elements and characters that fans will recognize and love. As you build this set, you'll encounter a clever and somewhat unusual step involving cylindrical yellow bricks. These bricks are used temporarily though for support during the assembly process. But here's where things actually get interesting. Once you've got the core structure in place, the instructions will then guide you to remove these yellow bricks because again, they're temporary. It's a bit like taking down the scaffolding from a newly built skyscraper. Suddenly, the model stands on its own, looking sleek and polished without those temporary supports. So look, while it might feel a bit odd to add and then remove bricks later on, it's a part of making sure your Ghostbusters set is sturdy and well constructed. And once those yellow bricks are out of the picture, you're left with a brilliant representation of the Ghostbusters iconic gear, ready to fend off any supernatural shenanigans. Overall though, it's a pretty cool concept of using bricks to support the build along the way. Another example of this actually is in the Lego Emerald Knight set from 2009. This is a detailed train model that stands out for its intricate design and beautiful locomotive. And as you build this train, you'll notice an unusual but practical step involving temporary supports. Early on in the construction, you'll set up 8 support pieces to help stabilize the build, kind of similar to the Ghostbusters set we were just discussing. It might seem like Lego is just giving you extra pieces to work with, but there's a method to this temporary madness. And that's because when you do reach step 46, these support pieces are once again removed, dismantled, and set aside. Once the structure is solid, the supports come down. This clever approach once again ensures that your Emerald Knight is sturdy during the build and looks sleek and polished when you're all done. So while you might be puzzled by the temporary use of these bricks, it's all a part of the process once again to get your train just right. And once those supports are out of the way, you're left with a stunning model that's ready to chug along your Lego track in style. And if you're into sports cars and ever dreamt of designing one of your own, well, you might need to check out this Lego set. The Lego Speed Champions Mercedes set packs a solid 564 pieces, but the real test of your patience isn't the building, but it's the stickers. Step 242 in particular will have you juggling multiple stickers at once, trying to align them just right without getting air bubbles or misplacement or any of the junk that stickers come with. It's like a mini exercise in precision that can quickly turn from, oh, I'm almost there, to let me just start over. Once you survive the sticker gauntlet though, the build is then worth it. The Speed Champion series is all about detailed, sleek models, and the Mercedes set really does deliver on that. The final car looks sharp and ready for a race. Sure, you might need to spend more time getting the stickers perfect than actually snapping bricks together, but once it's all done, you'll have a stylish, detailed set that looks great on display. Just remember though, again, with like most things Lego, patience is key, especially with those stickers. You don't want to mess them up because it's not as easy as, taking it off and putting it back. You can mess it up. Now, that's not the only sports car that I have to yap about. The Lego Speed Champions Ferrari set, part of the Speed Champion series, offers a sleek selection of Ferrari models. If you've ever wondered about the logic behind some Lego steps, you might find step 3 particularly intriguing. Here, a 1x1 red plate with a Ferrari logo gets covered by another brick. And at first glance, it might seem like an odd move, but it's actually a clever design choice. By using multiple printed 1x1 red plates throughout the set, Lego simplifies simplifies the process for builders. Instead of sifting through a bunch of pieces to find the one with the logo on it, every single red plate comes pre-printed. Kind of an interesting idea. It's a small touch that makes the building experience smoother and keeps you focused on putting together your Ferrari rather than hunting for some specific piece. So again, while it might look a bit counterintuitive and it might leave you scratching your head at first like, wait, why would they do that? It's all a part of making your build as enjoyable and straightforward as possible. I wonder if any other sets actually do this. So if they do, comment down below if you know any others. And if there's Lego sports cars, there's definitely Lego sports bikes. The Lego BMW motorcycle set is a 1,920 piece tribute to the iconic BMW M1000RR, but you'll hit a bit of a speed bump around step 77, because that right there is when you'll need to assemble 62 links to create the bike's chain. And while it's crucial for making the model functional, it's also one of those repetitive tasks that makes you wonder if building a full-size bike might actually be easier. Once the chain's out of the way though, the build really shines. The level of detail on this model is impressive, from the sleek design to the working chain and gears. It's like having a miniaturized version of the real thing, and it looks amazing on display as well. So while the chain might feel a little tedious, it's all a part of creating a model that's not just about looking at it, but it's also functional, which is perfect for motorcycle enthusiasts and Lego fans alike. On the topic of speedy things though, the Lego Loop Coaster set comes in at a hefty 3,756 pieces and promises an epic, nearly 2-foot tall functional roller coaster. But the catch lies in step 452. This step requires you to assemble 254 chain links to get that coaster up and running. And while it's essential for the ride, linking together that many tiny pieces can start to feel like you're just building a real amusement park at this point from scratch, minus the funnel cakes. Despite the chain link marathon, however, the final product is a showstopper. The working roller coaster brings a whole new level of fun to the build, and watching it in action makes all of that repetitive chain assembly feel totally worth it. If you love the idea of having your own mini amusement park though right on your desk, the Loop Coaster set is going to be your new favorite set. Just take it slow with those chain links because you don't want to burn yourself out. The Lego Haunted House set is a spooky delight with 3,231 pieces, but brace yourself for a bit of a horror show when you hit step 440. This step has you assembling 151 chain links to get the elevator mechanism working. Just like before with the roller coaster, it's like a chain link marathon where the goal is to just avoid losing your mind to the repetitive nature of the task. Despite the chain link grind, the haunted house itself is a real treat. It's packed with eerie details and a spooky charm to it, making it a standout piece in any collection. The functional elevator is a cool feature, but it might not feel so thrilling when you're knee deep in those tiny links. Just think of it again as a test of your patience, and by the time you're done, you'll have a haunted house that's both hauntingly detailed and eerily functional. Speaking of standout pieces though, I definitely consider the Lego Ideas typewriter set as one of them, since it brilliantly captures the charm of a vintage typewriter. And as you delve into this build, you might notice a peculiar approach in the instructions. Instead of the usual step-by-step assembly, you'll be tasked with creating and piling up multiple Technic beams in what initially seems like a haphazard manner. At first glance, this method might feel a bit disorganized, like Lego is challenging your patience or playing a game of let's see how they can handle this one. However, builders are instructed to construct several half-completed Technic components and then stack them together, which deviates from the more linear build process that you're already used to. However, this unconventional approach is actually designed to streamline the assembly of the typewriter's intricate mechanics, making the final build both functional and also satisfying. So while the piling of Technic beams might seem a bit odd, it's all a part of the master plan to create a typewriter that not only looks fantastic, but also actually functions with a delightful retro touch. Embrace the quirks and you'll find that this unique building process adds to the overall charm of the set. And another beautiful set that makes a perfect decoration is the Lego Ship in a Bottle set, and I feel like everyone's seen this one. This set includes 962 pieces, and while the final product is visually stunning, getting there involves a bit of a grind. At one stage in the build, you'll need to place 284 tiny blue studs inside of the bottle to create the effect of water. It sounds like an oddly specific number, but Lego molds one by one round studs in batches of exactly 284, which is why you'll find yourself meticulously placing them one by one. The good news is that despite the repetitive stud placing, the end result is absolutely breathtaking. The ship inside the bottle looks incredibly detailed and elegant, making all those tiny blue pieces worth it. So while your fingertips might get a bit tired from the repetitive task, you'll end up with a beautifully crafted piece that's sure to be a standout on anyone's shelf. And hey, it's It's not every day you get to build a ship in a bottle without having to worry about the seasickness. And of course, you can't sail across the sea without a map. Well, the LEGO World Map set is a monumental 11,695 piece endeavor, holding the title for the most pieces in any LEGO set. However, if you're tackling this build, be prepared for a bit of a marathon. Out of those 11,695 pieces, a staggering 11,130 are tiny 1x1 round elements, with 364 of them being white studs. And look, you'll be placing these minuscule pieces on 40 16x16 LEGO art plates, a task that can easily take between 15 to 20 hours. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle where each piece is a microscopic dot, and the satisfaction is in seeing a world map slowly come together. Despite the repetitive nature and potential for sore fingers, the end result is a stunning and impressive display piece. The world map not only looks fantastic on display, but also offers a unique way to showcase your LEGO skills and patience. Just remember, as you place each tiny stud, that you're not just building a map. You're creating a piece of art that'll make you feel like a true LEGO cartographer. And if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, just think of it as your personal journey around the globe, one stud at a time. Haha, you see what I did there? Now with that world map in hand, let's take a trip to India and marvel over at the Grand Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal set is a whopping 5,923 piece masterpiece, but be prepared for a bit of a grind when you hit page 42 of the instructions. Here, you'll actually place 6 tiny 1x1 tiles onto a 2x3 plate to form a checkerboard pattern 33 times. That's 198 tiles in total, which, fun fact, makes up 11% of the set's 2,022 pieces dedicated to just this one part. The good news though, well, LEGO was kind enough to separate the colors into individual bags, so at least you won't be, sorting through a mountain of tiny tiles like a treasure hunt. I would just not build a set at that point. Despite the repetitive nature of the checkerboard tiling, the payoff is huge. The Taj Mahal's architecture is as complex and detailed as the real thing, making it a truly iconic build. Sure, you'll spend a fair chunk of time laying down those tiny pieces, but when you step back and see the finished product, it's totally worth it. Plus, you can say that you survived one of LEGO's most intricate challenges ever. No passport needed for this trip to India. Moving on to our next stop though, that'll be Paris, France. Now, we all know what this iconic tower is, right? Well, yep, it's the LEGO Eiffel Tower set, and it's a colossal 10,001 piece marvel, reaching nearly 4 feet tall when completed. However, don't expect a quick build because the first 18 bags are dedicated to constructing just the base, which is already a bit repetitive. But the real test for patience starts with bags 19 through 32, where you'll be building the 4 main supports of the tower. Each support follows the same steps repeatedly, and to add a touch of extra challenge, many of the parts are mirror images, meaning you're essentially building the same structure twice, but in opposite orientation, so it can get a bit confusing too. While the repetitive nature can make the build feel slow and occasionally monotonous, the end result is worth it. The towering piece stands impressively tall and captures the grandeur of the real Eiffel Tower. So, if you're ready for a marathon build and don't mind a bit of deja vu with each step, this set will reward your patience with a stunning replica of one of the world's most iconic landmarks. Just be prepared for a test of endurance, no trip to Paris required. Now, with all that boat sailing comes a pirate ship, which makes the last entry on this list. The LEGO Ideas Pirates of Barracuda Bay set is a real gem for fans of pirate adventures, offering the flexibility to build either a dramatic shipwreck or a fully intact pirate ship. What makes this set particularly intriguing though is the way it handles the transition between these two different configurations. When you decide to switch from the shipwreck to the complete ship, the instructions involve a series of steps dedicated to removing various pieces from the wrecked model. It's like LEGO is almost giving you a reverse treasure hunt, where instead of adding pieces, you're carefully taking away some to reveal the ship in all its glory. This process might feel a bit counterintuitive, but it's a clever way to allow for a complete reconstruction, turning the shipwreck right back into its prime. So, while it may seem odd to start by dismantling parts of your build, it's all a part of the fun and flexibility that does come with this set. Whether you're into the dramatic look of the wreck or the sleek design of the intact ship, you get to enjoy both sides of the pirate adventure with one fantastic set. But on that note, if you have a favorite set with some stupid instructions, drop it down below in the comments and hit this button right here!
Ever wondered if LEGO could defy gravity? Well, check out this LEGO Spider-Man set, the Spider Jet vs. Venom Mech. In step 50 of the instructions, you're supposed to add a sticker to the clear cockpit piece and then place it on the build. But guess what? The sticker is already there, just floating in midair. It seems like the LEGO designer who created these instructions started with this image and then decided to raise up the cockpit, but they left the sticker layer down below. So we've got ourselves a floating sticker. Check out this LEGO Creator wind turbine set. It's this massive wind turbine, pretty wild stuff. Now, there's this minifigure pushing a cart with a couple of tanks on it. And here's where it gets interesting. There are two nozzles on the top, one yellow and one blue, but they're different pieces. The yellow one doesn't have a hole, while the blue one does. Turns out, LEGO made different versions of this nozzle piece, with the new mold being the yellow one without the hole. But this set has both versions. How? Well, it's like a rare collector's edition, because you've got the new and old versions of the LEGO brick in the same set, placed right next to each other on the cart. Next up is the LEGO Star Wars Resistance Bomber set. It's got something pretty confusing going on with its instructions. So, on step 21, you're told to add a 2x2 gray circular plate piece. But here's the thing. When you look at the set, you can't find that piece anywhere. It's just not there. Not pictured at all. Crazy, right? And get this, you don't actually figure out where the brick goes until step 96, a whole 75 steps later. That's pretty ridiculous. You only stumble upon it because you're building the other side, and then you can go back and add the brick where it should have been in step 21. Talk about a wild ride through the instruction booklet. Here's a funny one from the LEGO Movie 2 set. Welcome to Apocalypseburg. So, in step 211, it tells you that you need 3 bricks, but on the set, there are actually 4 bricks highlighted. There's even a Technic pin there, with red around the edges indicating that you should add it to the build. But the thing is, it's not mentioned in the steps above 211 that you should add it. False alarm, right? Well, if you flip through the next few steps, you'll see it disappears. And when it's added to the main build, it clearly doesn't have a Technic pin in it. Turns out, you add it the next time you build another little contraption and then attach it to the build. Now, this set definitely breaks some LEGO rules. It incorporates an illegal LEGO building technique. Check out the LEGO Creator Blue Power Jet. Take a look at this image and see if you can spot it. Give it a few seconds to sink in. Can you see what's illegal about this build? If not, let's take a peek at the instruction manual where this piece comes together. Take a look at the cockpit of this fighter jet we're building. At the front, you're putting together a 1x1 clip piece and a 1x1 square tile piece. According to LEGO, this combo is actually an illegal building technique. As you can see, it causes unnecessary stress because it doesn't fit properly. But the clip to tile combo, which is actually okay, is a legal building technique. It's just that the set uses the other combo, which LEGO deems illegal, even though it's an official set. In this LEGO roller coaster set, I want you to check out those flags. There are 3 pairs, right? Well, hold on. On the box art, one of the flags from the second pair is missing. And guess what? Same goes for the instruction booklet cover. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In the actual instructions, it tells you to include that missing flag. Now, flip to another set picture, and you'll notice something else quite funky. The flags from the first position are gone too, and you can see where the third flags were supposed to connect. And speaking of this roller coaster set, here's another interesting tidbit. For some reason, in those set pictures, LEGO decided to remove those flags. Why? Who knows? Now, while we're on the topic of this roller coaster set, let's address another problem. There is a clear misnumbering in the instruction booklet. It goes from step 368 straight to 393. It goes without saying, that's definitely an error. If you happen to have this set, let me know in the comments below if you've spotted this in your instructions as well. Moving on with the LEGO Arctic Supply Plane set. Follow the instructions exactly as they're printed, and you'll end up with a sticker that's upside down on your vehicle. Why's that? Well, the instructions have you create 2 of the exact same piece. And since the stickers are labeled the same, you end up with 2 identical stickers. But when you apply them to either side, one of them needs needs to be flipped. And suddenly, you've got an upside down sticker. Talk about a bummer. Looks like we all need to keep an eye out when applying those dreaded Lego stickers. Lego, please, just give us more printed pieces. Next up, let's get into another Lego Ninjago set, Kai's Mech Jet. We're going to zoom in on the jet part of this build, not the mech. Looking at the instruction booklet, there's a bit of a color mystery. In the set picture, it looks like you get a gray 1x2 plate with 2 clips on it, but when you actually build it, it's red. So, which one's the real deal? Well, the instruction booklet shows it in red, but on the box art and other images in the booklet, it's gray. The correct one is actually the red clip piece in the instruction booklet. Seems like whoever built the set and took those pictures might have goofed up by using the wrong color clip piece. Wonder if it was intentional or just an honest mistake. Diving into another set, it's a classic mix-up between the box art and the instructions. Set 60042 stars 2 bank robbers zooming away on motorcycles, trying to dodge a police car. It's a modest 110-piece set, nothing too fancy. But what's surprising is the blunder that they made. The box shows these bikes cruising along without any kickstands. Now, that's cool, right? But then you crack open the instructions, and the first thing they tell you is to attach the kickstands. And guess what? They're in every single picture in the booklet. I mean, sure, you shouldn't have your kickstand down while riding, but come on, 4 times in the first 2 pages? That's a bit much, don't you think? Now, there's a little hiccup from the 31120 Medieval Castle, specifically when you're putting together the dragon sub-build. In steps 28 and 30, when you're assembling the dragon's legs, the instructions ask for 2 1x2 plates with connectors each time. But guess what? When you look at the pictures, you only use 1 plate in each step. Now, if this mix-up happened just once, it wouldn't be a big deal, but seeing it twice? That'd definitely make me pause and wonder if I'm doing something wrong, especially if I ended up with a couple of those plates left over in the end. Next, we've got a tiny blip that might be the smallest mistake on our list today, but it's still pretty interesting. This is the Jungle Dragon set from Lego Ninjago. So, what's the fuss? Well, it's a little mismatch between the box art and the actual instructions. Specifically, it's about one of the villains in the set and how he's holding his 2 daggers. On the box art, the knife blades are shown curving downward, but in the instructions, they're curving upward. So here's the big question. Do you follow the box or the instructions in cases like these? Share your thoughts on what you do in the comments below. Moving on, we've got a couple of quirky mistakes in some Poe Dameron sets. First up, in the construction figure set, there's a small little oopsie in the final step. When you're supposed to place the head, you'll notice a random red Technic pin sticking out of nowhere near his arm. It's like it defies gravity. Turns out, it's from a previous step where you attach the blaster to Poe's hand. Seems like it's slipped out of place in the final image. But wait, there's more. On page 99 of Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter, you're given a small assembly, but if you look closely, the steps seem a bit mixed up. Step 1 shows 2 pieces, while step 2 only shows 1. It's like they're printed out of order. It's a minor hiccup, but it's kind of funny, especially when you realize the same set has another assembly done right in the proper sequence. Last one on the list is a set that I have a lot to talk about. So typically, Lego sets are made to be put together and, if you want, taken apart, so you can use the pieces for your own cool creations, right? But with the release of the 75313 AT-AT and or AT-AT, Lego's doing things a bit differently. Some parts of it can't be taken apart without using sharp metal tools. So these Technic frames they introduced back in 2009, super versatile, great for building sturdy models. But you gotta handle them with care, because if you connect stuff to them in a certain way, you might not be able to take it apart later. Say you stick one of these frames inside another horizontally, then slide 2 axles through the adjacent holes. Once it's in, it's stuck. Designers working on Technic sets usually know about this trick, and make sure it doesn't mess up anything in official sets. But it seems like there's a slip-up in 75313 AT-AT. Let me break it down for you. First, you set up the orange pin and the axle connector without any problems. Then, things get tricky when you slide in the green pin connector and push a 4L axle through it. Once it's in, there's no easy way to take it apart. You're stuck, and the only option is to gently nudge the axle with the knife blade, risking damage. Now, onto attaching the body to the underframe. The axles you insert into the side holes don't snugly fit into any holes inside the body. Removing them involves flipping the whole thing over, giving it a shake, and hoping for the best. It seems like LEGO might have overlooked a few things with this set. Maybe they were too focused on making it look awesome that they forgot about the practical side of things. And let's not forget the struggle of trying to dismantle LEGO sets without damaging them. Not exactly a walk in the park, especially when you're dealing with intricate builds like this one. Another thing about the LEGO Star Wars AT-AT set is that on step 884 in the 4th booklet, there's a tiny mistake. They ask for 2 identical 3x2 wedge pieces, but looking at where they should go, it's clear we need 2 mirrored wedges instead. No need to worry though, because fortunately, the set still has all of the right parts in it. So, which one of our rule breakers surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching.
From breaking a bunch of LEGO rules to a head that literally won't stay in place, these LEGO sets might just have the most cursed instructions out there. Kicking things off with the 75313 AT-AT. You know how LEGO sets are all about building and also taking apart, right? Well, the 75313 AT-AT breaks that norm in a cheeky way. Some of the pieces in this set fit together so snugly that taking them apart without getting a bit crafty can be quite the challenge. I mean, just look at this thing. Next though is the 7190 Millennium Falcon. Let's rewind to 2009 because that's when LEGO introduced these things called Technic frames. They're like versatile building blocks that help make models sturdy and cool looking. But here's the catch, because once you snap one of these bits together, they might not want to come apart without a bit of a tussle. And imagine this scenario. Someone is putting together the 7190 Millennium Falcon set and suddenly realizes that they missed adding a couple of pieces. Oopsie daisy, because now these missing bits show up towards the end of the build, and here's what they're gonna have to do. Flip back through the instruction booklet to track down where those sneaky pieces go, gently take the model apart just a tad like a puzzle midway solved, then fit those missing pieces back in their rightful spots, carefully reassemble the whole thing, keeping their fingers crossed of course, and of course add the final touch. Oh, and guess what? They've got photos to show where the instructions went a bit wonky too. The inventory page missed listing those important pieces. Sneaky, right? Qui-Gon Jinn. Remember Qui-Gon Jinn, that LEGO character or Star Wars character? In 2007, he got a style upgrade, and his minifigure had a fresh torso design showing off his brick yellow tunic and a bit of his brown shirt around the neck. And check this out, even his utility belt got a makeover to match the movie's look better. Down to his legs, yep, they match the color theme too. Now here's the cool tidbit. LEGO switched from yellow to flesh colored skin for some characters, and Qui-Gon Jinn joined the club. His head and hands got a new shade to match, and his face print didn't change much except his facial hair got a slightly lighter brown shade. Oh, and in one set, he ditched the usual hair for a reddish brown hood, a different look for sure. He always carried a cape and a green lightsaber, though the hilt went from shiny silver to a more subtle medium stone gray. There was even a funny mix-up where he actually ended up with Obi-Wan Kenobi's head in one batch of sets, but they quickly fixed that up, and yeah, I was pretty cursed when that happened. 21303 Wall-E. 2015 was all about the buzz around the 21303 Wall-E set. Everyone was talking about it, but not all the chatter was positive. It's a bit of a bummer because the set is super impressive, but it had a design hiccup. You see, Wall-E's neck had 4 joints, which sounds awesome, right? 3 of these joints will let you move his head up and down, while the 4th will let you swivel it side to side. But that swivel joint wasn't quite the team player, and it didn't quite have enough friction to hold the head in place. Instead of staying put, it kind of just flopped around, making it harder to strike those epic poses that, you know, we all love to do with our LEGO things. So yeah, it's a little bit cursed at times. I mean, if you look at it from like this angle. Steamboat Willie. Fast forward to 2019, and LEGO Ideas brought us something exciting, the Steamboat Willie set. Now, if you were sharp-eyed, you might have noticed something funky because it was labeled as set 24 in the Ideas line, which is the exact same number as the Flintstone set, and yeah, whoops, LEGO goofed up. They admitted their excitement got the better of them, and they accidentally slapped the wrong number on the Steamboat Willie packaging. It should have been number 25, not number 24, but no worries though because they fixed it for all the future sets. But if you are a collector who loves those tiny little details, know that the first batch of these sets still carried that little numbering hiccup on the box, so you could always go out and try to find one. 75053 The Ghost. Now, do you remember the set The Ghost? Well, back in its original original release, the Cannon Jarvis minifigure had the wrong hair color. Yup, they did goof up the hair, but fear not though, because they did fix it and made sure that now it sports the accurate hair color that it should have. And guess what? That original incorrect version has now become quite the rarity, meaning it's pretty rare to find and could be worth a lot of money. The Jazz Club set. If you're building this set, don't freak out when you hit the end of the bag 12 and there are no pieces left. Yeah, I'm not joking. They really cursed this one up. Despite LEGO's usually strict checks, the occasional error slips through, and in this case, the instructions for the Jazz Club set goofed up a bit. You're supposed to keep building for a couple more steps after bag 12, but you're left empty-handed. Don't worry though, because you're not missing the pieces, because here's the deal. Those steps should have been in the next set of bags. All the pieces you need are in there, so just open the next bags and start building from steps 332 and 333. Oh my god, that could have ended badly. It seems the original plan was to have those steps in the bag 12, but somehow the change didn't make it to the instruction booklet, and that went out with the set on January 1st. Thankfully though, this doesn't mess up the actual building process for this LEGO set. But yeah, just try not to get confused when you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? The Republic gunship. Back in 2021, the folks at the LEGO group noticed a little hiccup with their first batch of the Republic gunship set box art. Instead of the proper Republic logo, the initial run of the boxes showed the Imperial logo. Like, they literally just did a 180. Now, these logos are pretty similar, so it is a little bit easy to mess up, unless you're not a real Star Wars fan, given the storyline transition from the clone troopers to the stormtroopers in Revenge of the Sith. But if you are a true Star Wars fan at heart, you'll spot the mix-up in a heartbeat. Ivan, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, the senior marketing manager at LEGO, stepped up and spilled the beans to Brick Fanatics and other LEGO fan media. He revealed that the team was on it and already working on an update to fix the packaging and instructions for the set. But hold your horses, because these revived sets won't hit the shelves anytime soon, which doesn't really make sense, but we're gonna move on anyway. The Dark Trooper attack. Fast forward now to 2022, and the LEGO group once again caught wind of some concerns. This time, it was about the packaging for the Fresh Face 75324 Dark Trooper attack set. The general response to this Mandalorian themed set was quite positive actually, especially considering its wallet-friendly price tag and the awesome inclusion of 3 Dark Troopers and a new Luke Skywalker minifigure. But of course, keen-eyed fans are always on the lookout, and they spotted a small whoopsie on the box art for the new set. Now, despite the initial confusion, the Dark Troopers nestled inside the box are indeed identical to the ones that graced the previous summer's Imperial Light Cruiser set, even though they might not seem that way at first glance. So now you might be wondering if these initial edition boxes for the Dark Trooper attack sets would go on to actually become rare collector's items. So I'm here to tell you that that didn't happen. The Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3. Once again in 2022, the 42143 Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3 hit the scene, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. Racing Brick, who managed to snag an early set for review, noticed a bunch of issues with it. Now, LEGO did make some updates to the digital instruction manuals to fix up some of these problems, but not all of them got sorted out. Before you kick off your own building adventure with this set, let me give you the rundown on some of the glaring errors and fixes that might affect your journey, especially if you're relying on the printed instruction manuals that come with the set. On step 88, the initial instructions seem to have missed a crucial panel that would have shown how those 2 orange wave selectors should be positioned before you slide into the green beam. That's a pretty important detail since it directly impacts how the gearbox functions. This step had reviewers scratching their heads too, but worry not, because LEGO caught this one and fixed it in the digital instructions. So just go on their website and try to find that. But now on step 104, there's a little oopsie that hasn't been fixed yet by LEGO, and in step 104, there's a bit of a mix-up where the wrong element is highlighted. It's like the manual is almost playing a game of spot the difference, but it's not a game we want to play during our builds. And you know how sometimes you end up with extra pieces after completing a build? Well, in this case, there are 2 black fairings that might be longing around. However, though, Racing Brick's review came to the rescue once again, because those fairings should actually be attached to the red axes peeking out at the back of the car near the underside. Mistakes are part of the game, though, we all know that, and even the talented teams behind the sets of the Ferrari Daytona SP3 can slip up from time to time, or even other LEGO sets. From packaging mix-ups with the USC Republic gunship to the Marvel mechs encountering issues earlier that year, 2022 just wasn't exactly LEGO's smoothest run, you know what I mean? Now, let's talk price, because the Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3 set comes in at a whopping $399.99, and it's an official licensed Ferrari product too. And with so many slip-ups and a partially crucial one with the gearbox instructions, it's a bit hard to believe that it's this set with all the problems. Like, it's kind of disappointing. The Liber R 9800 excavator. This time, once again, going back to 2019, the LEGO Technic Liber R 9800 excavator was unleashed onto the scene, boasting an impressive 4,108 pieces. This mammoth Technic set stands tall at over 15 inches, stretching 25 inches in length and extending 10 inches in width. width. What sets this behemoth apart though are its 2 smart control units and even the 7 motors. But don't be fooled though, because the challenge here lies in making sure every specific component fits precisely to make the excavator function like a well-oiled machine. And of course, brace yourself for an extra layer of complexity, as you'll need to download a mobile app to actually ensure that everything is operating smoothly during the build. It's a little bit cursed because how many sets do you actually need a mobile app plus the instructions to make sure it works out? It's kind of weird, but I guess it's worth it with this set. Ghostbusters Firehouse Headquarters. For those who prefer the allure of movie-themed sets, the Ghostbusters Firehouse Headquarters might be more your speed. This iconic set, part of the Ghostbusters series, flaunts a staggering 4,634 pieces. Standing at 14 inches in height, 9 inches in width, and 14 inches in depth, this replica packs a punch in its size. But despite its seemingly straightforward appearance, building this set is like solving a puzzle. The challenge though, it's crafting the intricate segments within the building structure, as you have to work on recreating the various rooms of the Ghostbusters headquarters. Oh, and don't forget the fun task of arranging the array of accessories and spooky elements throughout the building. But yeah, basically, no pun intended, some of the instructions in this set can be a little bit cursed. I mean, as you see. The Tower Bridge. A set with 4,295 pieces might seem enticing, but it does come with its fair share of intricacies. The real challenge here is deciphering the slightly different shades of the beige colored bricks that make up this iconic structure. And it doesn't stop there, because keeping those towers upright and ensuring that the drawbridge mechanism functions smoothly can make you feel like you're managing a real bridge construction project. The Tower Bridge is a testament to the complexity and craftsmanship that goes into these expert level sets, and it can be a little bit hard, I mean, to do this thing. The Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle. Bro, I feel like there's always so many Harry Potter things. For those who like a touch of magic in their builds, there is the Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle. I think it's pretty obvious. This set lets you actually recreate the iconic school's Great Hall, moving staircases, and the classroom themselves. But wait, because there is more. With a staggering 6,020 pieces, this set is a true challenge for even the most seasoned builders. And guess what? Placing the stickers can be quite the test of patience and also precision. However, these little details add personality and character to the school's facade. And upon completion, the Hogwarts Castle stands tall at over 22 inches in height, stretching 27 inches in width, and even extending 16 inches in depth. But yeah, with this thing, it's pretty much just stickers. It's just like a sticker way to hell. That was a terrible joke. Back to the Star Wars Millennium Falcon. Earlier, I mentioned a very specific issue that one person had, but the Millennium Falcon in general is one that's a very cursed build. With 2 versions available, a classic and modern style, this set will keep you busy for more than just a weekend. I mean, I took a month to build like the big UCS, you know, the one that costs $1,000. Anyways, and considering the jaw-dropping 7,541 pieces and a bunch of minifigures, building the Millennium Falcon becomes an audacious journey in itself. The challenge lies in the complex configuration of hidden floor storage and multiple detachable components that need to come together seamlessly. And this is more than just snapping bricks together, because it's a test of your commitment and determination to conquer a galactic build of grand proportions, and to also not mess up, because you can mess up. The Colosseum Lego set. Everybody knows this one. Fancy recreating an ancient wonder? Well, say hello to the Colosseum from the 2020 Lego Expert Creator Series. This colossal structure isn't just about the sheer quantity, it's also about the meticulous placement of every single brick shade to bring the architectural marvel to life. The challenge lies in maintaining the authenticity of the Colosseum's columns while ensuring stability and structure as well. It's like being an architect and a builder all at once. And once completed, this model amphitheater stands over 10.5 inches tall, stretching 20.5 inches in width, and even extending 23.5 inches in depth. But with this set, once again, the struggle and where the curse part comes in is just all the small details. I mean, oh boy, look at this, and this. If you mess it up, good luck. You might just need to buy a new set. The Titanic set. Next up, a grand endeavor that's as impressive as the namesake, the Lego Expert Creator Titanic. With a jaw-dropping 9,090 parts, this ship isn't just a set. It's also a project that demands dedication. With its high degree of compartmentalization, building the Titanic isn't just for the faint of heart. The complexity is real with this set. I'm not joking. You need to ensure that the propellers and the rudders work just as they should, and brace yourself for a journey that will take over 48 hours to complete. Yeah, this set is no joke. But in the end, you'll have a striking centerpiece measuring 18 inches in height, 17 inches in width, and a whopping 54 inches in length. And just like the Colosseum with this one, you just can't mess up. I mean, and some of the instructions on this set can be very cursed. It's almost like the set where the ship's in the bottle and you just have to flood it with like little pieces. Like if I can put up a picture, I will right here. But yeah, it's a little cuckoo. The world map. I think the most cursed challenge lies in the Lego Art World Map. Released in 2021 with a staggering 11,695 pieces, this is not just just building. It's a masterclass in color differentiation and subtle shades. This set definitely demands a keen eye for detail and a knack for deciphering nuances. And as you place each piece and each individual brick, you're essentially mapping out your visual travel bucket list. And the world map is definitely a work of art that will most certainly leave you scratching your head more often than not. The Tower Bridge 10214. Now this one, with a whopping 4,295 pieces, this LEGO Creator Expert model is a tribute to the iconic London landmark. I feel like everybody knows what this is, but let's be real, this ain't your average weekend project. This build is all about the finessing, because you're gonna find yourself wrestling with tiny pieces to just create those subtle suspensions that keep the bridge standing tall. And those spires on the bastions, well, attach them just right or risk the height of imbalance throwing off the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's been charming folks along the River Thames since 1894, and bringing this magic to life requires some advanced building wizardry. The real test of your skills, though, does come down with the functional drawbridge, and that's where the set is cursed with the instructions. Because yeah, you heard that right. It opens up just like the real Tower Bridge to let ships pass through. Like, what else would it be for? Plus, there are some rare bricks in this mix that might just have you scratching your head unless you've got your trusty building instruction booklet by your side. In those 4 adorable miniature vehicles, the red London double-decker bus, the green car, yellow truck, and black taxi, they're not just for show, because you're gonna need some skills to make sure that everything stays steady, because nobody wants a wobbly tower bridge, right? LEGO Creator Expert 10261 Roller Coaster. When it comes to tackling the LEGO Creator Expert roller coaster set, many folks find themselves facing a mix of excitement and also a little bit of fear. And it's not because the set lacks appeal, quite the contrary actually. It's because of the colossal size. I mean, this thing is absolutely massive and it hasn't changed. And unpacking the roller coaster reveals a total of 11 sets of bags. The building process is also divided into 2 halves, with bags 1 through 5 forming the first half and bags 6 through 11 handling the second. Each half comes with its own instruction booklet too, which is a pain on its own. And anyone that's built a set with multiple instruction booklets, you know dang well what I'm talking about. Instead of unique printed bricks too, there's also a collection of over a dozen stickers used in various signs around the amusement park. It's a bit of a bummer, but by now, most LEGO enthusiasts have come to expect this sticker situation in many sets. The major hiccup though is that the instructions can be a bit of a head scratcher at moments. With nearly 24 white pillars protruding from the base, distinguishing one from another can be tricky at times. I mean, just look at this image. That's pretty confusing to me, dog. The milling machine. You've got this LEGO artist named Arthur Sakek who went all out and put together the 360 milling machine using mainly LEGO bricks. Now, brace yourself, because this contraption is like a 3D object factory. It takes instructions from a computer and turns them into real-life objects. And guess what? The majority of this machine is pure LEGO goodness, except for one small part, obviously the metal drill. And everything else, well, yep, you've guessed it. It's all LEGO. And it's probably a little bit cursed with how it operates. I mean, I wouldn't want to try and build it. Endor. Okay, let's talk about Star Wars and LEGO once again. These two have had some serious bromance going on for a while now. I think everybody knows that. But from sets to video games, they've teamed up to bring the Star Wars universe to life in the LEGO brick form. And guess what? They've tackled Endor too. You know that iconic Star Wars location? Well, it's cool to see that fans take a swing at creating Endor in LEGO style. And you know what's fun? Fans don't have to worry about the same commercial stuff that official toy makers do. They could just let their creativity run wild, especially when it's something as colossal as Star Wars. But now you're probably wondering, well, how does this have cursed instructions? I'm not too sure. The Bengal tiger. We're not stopping yet, because there is a captivating Bengal tiger sculpture that's just jaw-dropping. Someone with some serious LEGO skills took the vibrant hues of the orange and merged them with the blacks and whites to create this stunning masterpiece. And guess what? It's giving off some major Jungle Book vibes. I mean, you can just look at this thing and this thing, you can practically hear the wildlife. And heck, I mean, there's even a sparkle of Aladdin's pet tiger in there. But alright, since I know you're wondering, if you look at the actual miniature version of this Bengal tiger LEGO set, you're gonna find some cursed images, because what the heck is that? The LEGO Skull motorbike. Brace yourself for this one, because this LEGO set is a time capsule from 2011, the OG days of the Ninjago sets. But guess what, once again, because they've sprinkled a whole load of incorrect artwork from that era all over it. Picture this, the Skull motorbike, the iconic ride, but with some major artistic mishaps. Check out these images, and you'll spot things that are just way off. In one of the main product images, they literally just slapped on Frackjaw's armor piece with those fiery red spikes on the sides for the top of a minifigure here. But guess what, once again, because that's not what you actually get in the set. The right armor should have been those gray ones, but someone decided to jazz it up with some wrong pieces too. Just awesome. And guess what, once again, because this trend just keeps on going. It's like they put this set through an artwork blender and just let it go wild. The icing on the cake, well, one particular image really gets under my skin, because they flipped Chopov off the bony dude the wrong way. His torso's facing the wrong direction and his armor is all over the place. Even the bottom part with his printing is flipped like it's trying to play mirror games. Like, come on, bro, seriously? Now, if you're rolling your eyes just a bit, well, just take a peek at any of the instruction manuals from 2011. You know, the golden age of Ninjago, you know, when everyone wanted the gold Lloyd figure, you know what I'm talking about. You'll spot this set making its appearances there, and guess what? It's got wrong artwork everywhere, even back then. Lego table. So, there's this architectural design firm, ABGC, chilling in Dublin, and they scored a gig to revamp the digs of an up-and-coming agency. And guess what? Among the recommendations, there's this mind-blowing boardroom table on the menu. We're talking about a whopping 4x9 feet of Lego extravaganza. This beast demanded a jaw-dropping 22,740 Lego bricks, and get this, they didn't even use any cheat codes. No glue, no nothing, just nothing. The coolest part too, well, the crew rolled up with their sleeves and built it themselves, so no fancy master builders or contractors involved at all. The client wanted playful but not juvenile, and trust me, this table hits that sweet spot. I could only imagine how cursed it was trying to get this thing to look the way it does. Lego USS Missouri. Next, anyways, which Lego set did you find the most cursed to build, and which instructions just like got you saying, yeah, nah? Let me know in the comments, and of course, subscribe! From a life-size dragon to a literal tree made out of Lego, these are some of the most jaw-dropping Lego builds you won't believe are real. This is a working Lego guitar. When Lego wanted to strut its stuff with the 3rd gen Mindstorm's programmable robotics kit, or the EV3, they called on the Lego community to showcase their own talent. And guess what? Someone made a legit electric guitar out of Lego bricks. It even has its unique Lego style sound. I mean, just listen to this thing. I mean, bro, rock on, bro. Look at this thing. But this next thing though, I bet you didn't even know it was real because it's a working Lego 3D printer. Get ready for some Lego magic with this one because Mastermind, an engineering graduate, embarked on a mission to build a wallet-friendly 3D printer. And oh boy, did he do that. Because enter the Lego Bot, a 3D printer almost entirely constructed from Lego bricks and powered by NXT components. It's not the most practical printer since it does use hot glue instead of filament, but boy, I mean, this thing is a blast to tinker with. I mean, just think of all the Lego things you can make with it. Lego Joker's Funhouse. Paul Hetherington didn't hold back with his Lego creation because this is the Joker's base. But don't let that piece count fool you though, because this funhouse, inspired by Batman video games and Australia's Luna Park, is built across 3 levels and is equipped with Lego power functions motors and Technic gears. And honestly, it's a whirlwind of moving parts, including bat traps, and the detail is off the charts. I mean, just look at this thing, and even this thing. I mean, all around, I mean, it's just a crazy build. Lego Orrery. This spectacular creation is the brainchild of Jason Alleman, affectionately known as the Mad Lego creator. But anyways, with just under 500 pieces, this model takes those humble bricks to a whole new level. I mean, just picture this, a working model of the sun, earth, and moon, complete with their mesmerizing spins and orbits. I've never seen anyone do that with Lego. I mean, it's just insane. Now, while it might not be entirely to scale, obviously, the accuracy of the orbits and rotations is mind-boggling close to 100%. I mean, it's basically like the real thing. It's like having quite literally a mini universe in Lego form, and that's just, I mean, that's crazy, bro. Imagine having like your own planets and Lego just spinning around doing whatever. Maybe there's not a meteor that takes out dinosaurs again, or that was a terrible joke. We're gonna move on. If Lego made realistic flowers, this is what it would be. And I think it's a great way to spruce up your living space with the Botanical Collection flower bouquet, which is what it's called. I mean, this is a stunning arrangement and it's crafted entirely from Lego blocks and features a vibrant assortment of flowers, including roses and sunflowers. And of course, you have no need to worry about watering too, because it's literally just Lego. I mean, you could just place this colorful bouquet in your living room and enjoy the everlasting beauty. And it even looks a little bit realistic. But how about Lego Harry Potter crests? I'm calling out all the Harry Potter enthusiasts because these buildable Harry Potter house crests are a must-have for any fans. You're able to choose your lines to Slytherin, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw, or combine all 4 to create a striking house crest display. And you can even add a touch of modern wizarding charm to your home and proudly declare your Potterhead status. Big Lek boxes. Say hello to the Big Lek boxes, which is a collaboration between Lego and IKEA. I mean, who would have thought Lego and IKEA made something? But anyways, these simple and easy to assemble storage solutions tackle your everyday clutter issues in style. From crafting tea boxes to mini planters, the Big Lek collection offers an endless storage possibilities tailored to your needs. And if I'm being honest here, everybody already shops at IKEA, so why not get a Lego IKEA piece of furniture? I mean, that sounds pretty cool to me if you like Lego. But all right, I know what you wanted. You wanted a Lego toothbrush holder. Like what? You can upgrade your bathroom with the practical and playful Lego toothbrush holder. I mean, this sleek sleek accessory holds your family's toothbrushes and even includes a toothpaste squeezer for added convenience. The only real concern I could see with something like this is if you're a messy brusher, all the toothpaste and water can get in between the bricks and like build mold, and it could be really gross. But all right, we're not gonna get into it. Let's just move on. Lego kintsugi. With this thing, you can actually embrace the trend of kintsugi, a Japanese art of repairing with gold with a Lego twist to it, because Lego Sugi allows you to mend broken items like plant holders, lamps, and tables using Lego bricks instead of actual gold. It's a creative and cool way to give new life to your household items and showcase your DIY skills as well. And onto another cool thing is the Lego safe with a key. Looking for a beginner-friendly Lego project, I mean that pretty much anyone can do? Well, check out this Lego safe build. This simple yet intriguing design doesn't require specialized Lego bricks, making it accessible for builders with a limited selection. And you can even customize your safe by adding different colors or creating patterns to match your style. And who knows what kind of things you can hide in there. Just don't tell your mom. Lego puzzle box. For the tricksters in your home, the Lego puzzle box is a delightful challenge. Shaped like a classic Lego house, it also holds a secret that rattles when shaken. But what's the catch anyways? Well, the door doesn't open so easily. I mean, obviously it doesn't. And it's a perfect gift for those who enjoy brain-teasing tasks and things that just want, things that you just want to challenge your brain with. And if you're new to building, you can start with a basic drawer design using common Lego pieces to ease into the puzzle-making fun. But if you suck at puzzles, you won't probably like this. But maybe you'll like the Batman Batarang? Bro, who knew that there was a Lego Batman Batarang? Because London South Bank boasts a colossal spectacle, a Batman Batarang installation by Lego design company Bright Bricks. It's constructed from a staggering 35,000 Lego pieces, and this installation is a whopping 133 times larger than the original Lego piece. Bro, listen, I don't know about you, but if I saw a real-life Lego Batarang that's literally bigger than me, I mean, I'd take a picture with it. Let's move on to the Starship OSS Pontbriand. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyways, whatever this is, it will definitely wow you, because allow me to introduce you to some Lego brilliance with the Starship OSS Pontbriand. Crafted by the talented Jeff Pelletier, this masterpiece is literally a whopping 6 feet long and boasts 4 levels of intricately furnished interiors. I mean, just literally look at all the details this thing has. All right, but who knew that there was a Lego Mount Rushmore? Because Lego engineers took creativity to new heights with their quirky rendition of Mount Rushmore, nestled within the Legoland of Denmark. And believe it or not, this whimsical version is made up of a staggering 1 million Lego bricks, making it a truly unique and eye-catching attraction that's bound to bring a smile to your face, and maybe the faces of the people on Mount Rushmore. Just kidding, they don't smile. But look at this Lego jet engine. Now, before you get any wild ideas, remember that this Lego jet engine isn't ready for real flight. I mean, obviously. This impressive model, crafted by Rolls-Royce, is made up of a staggering 152,455 bricks. It's about half the size of the Trent 1000 engine that powers the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. While it won't actually get you off the ground, though, it is packed with moving parts that do mimic the motions of a real jet engine, and you might even mistake it for one if you're blind. I mean, I might fall for it. But all right, back to Harry Potter with Lego Hogwarts. Can you believe that a love for Lego was rekindled during playtime with a young son? Because that's exactly what happened to Alice Finch. Her first colossal project was a jaw-dropping Lego Hogwarts with a whopping 400,000 pieces. Like, what? And that was just the beginning too, because she's gone on to craft other mind-blowing designs like the intricate Rivendell, a playable Lego Quidditch pitch, a Hobbit-friendly Hobbiton, a detailed Notre Dame Cathedral model, and even the Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon, a project she teamed up with her son, Thorin. And guys, please don't flame me in the comments if I said anything wrong. I mean, these are some crazy names. Regardless though, these are some crazy big builds, and I didn't know they were real until I just quite literally found out. I feel like everybody knows this one at this point, but this is the Lego Rubik's Cube robot. Ever heard of the Cube Stormer robots? Well, these robotic marvels have been solving Rubik's Cubes with ever-decreasing record times, and they're doing it in a way that will leave you amazed too. The brainpower behind these robots, Mike Dobson and David Gilday, outdid themselves with the Cube Stormer 3, the latest iteration. And brace yourself, because this ingenious bot solved the Rubik's Cube in an astonishing 3.253 seconds. Like, bro, how do you do that? They harnessed the power of a smartphone app to analyze the cube's colors, making it a fusion of cutting-edge tech and classic toy magic. Anyways, I don't care how good you are at Rubik's Cubes, bro, this thing is gonna beat you in 2 seconds. Lego microscope? This just isn't any microscope. I mean, it's a fully functional one crafted entirely from Lego bricks. The mastermind behind this innovative creation is Carl Mariam, and his attention to detail is also just awe-inspiring. I mean, just look at like these little like details that are here, and here. I mean, maybe you wouldn't even know it's Lego to begin with. Imagine actual Lego magnifying glasses, silver Lego swords ingeniously securing slides in place, and even a Lego LED power functions light as the light source itself. Yes, you heard that right. I mean, it is just a stunning blend of creativity and science, proving proving that Lego isn't just for kids, bro. I mean, bro, you can do like actual science with this thing. You might even be able to find the cure for cancer. Who knows? This one's a pretty popular one, but I didn't even know this was real. And this is the Lego Freedom Fighters. Now, let's shift gears to a profound creation with a powerful message. A Chinese artist renowned for his activism found a unique way to make his voice heard despite facing personal challenges. Locked within the confines of his homeland, Ai Weiwei's art, bro, I'm not saying that name's right, knows no boundaries. He showcased a collection of Lego works on the historic grounds of Alcatraz. Among these captivating pieces were the mosaic Lego portraits, an assembly of over 1.2 million bricks. And these portraits depicted 176 individuals who faced silencing, imprisonment, or exile for daring to speak out against injustice. So yeah, I mean, Lego clearly isn't for kids, and I mean, I didn't even know this thing was real. Good for him, bro. All right, Lego Death Star. In the realm of Legoland, epic creations are par for the course, but the Lego Death Star takes it to an entirely new level. I mean, just picture Darth Vader's iconic weapon and the fortress meticulously constructed from a staggering 500,000 Lego bricks. This colossal creation also tips the scale at 862 kilograms and stands an impressive 3.9 meters tall by 2.4 meters wide. Pretty sure that's bigger than me. Transporting this behemoth 2 to its final resting place within the California theme park required the mighty assistance of a forklift. Everybody knows there's a Lego Death Star, but I didn't know that there was a big one this big. Lego Cyborg Arm. Meet Dave Diavo Voltaggio, hope I'm saying that right, and his functional robotic Lego arm that is as impressive as it sounds. And this isn't your average Lego construction. It's a fusion of Lego, Technic components, and Mindstorm's technology. Dave wears this robotic marvel over his own right arm, and through a series of cleverly designed buttons, he commands the arm's movements. Like, he literally has a cyborg arm out of Lego. I'm not even joking. Each button corresponds to a motor controlling the fingers and thumb. It's like science fiction brought to life through plastic Lego bricks. But I didn't know this was real. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I kind of want one now, bro. I feel like Iron Man up in this hoe. Poseidon. In the thrilling premiere season of Lego Masters Australia, the dynamic duo Henry and Cade crafted an awe-inspiring creation named Poseidon that had both the judges and the audience utterly shocked. From the visually striking clash of forces portrayed to the meticulously crafted subplot involving a miniature boat, the Poseidon build wasn't just a sculpture, it was a triumph of storytelling. The reactions it elicited from onlookers mirrored the core of Lego Masters' success. I can't believe they actually built that, as someone said that. And the fact that Henry and Cade had no previous benchmark for their season 1 endeavor further underscored the monumental feat they accomplished. Their remarkable ability to ensnare hearts and minds through their storytelling prowess set an impressively high standard for the seasons to follow. And I mean, look at the pictures of this thing. Would you know that this thing was real? Mad Scientist Frankenfig. The stage was set in the second season of Lego Masters Australia, where Jackson and Alex took the spotlight with their breathtaking creation, Mad Scientist Frankenfig. Rising above all that came before, this towering marvel left viewers in awe with its staggering size and intricate detailing. And at its heart, a majestic purple abode atop a rugged mountain acted as a backdrop for the minifigures' inhabitants. I mean, seriously, how cool is this thing? Honestly, bro, if you shrunk me down and put me in this thing for Halloween, I think I'd freak out. I think I'm gonna, I'd blow up or something. Strum King 80s Rockstar. Now, moving on to Lego Masters Season 3, it witnessed the audacious duo Owen and Scott and to present their creation Strum King 80s Rockstar during the arcade game challenge, leaving everyone astounded. This build went beyond mere visual appeal, flaunting a remarkable functionality that left a lasting impression on everyone that was there. Despite grappling with an array of technical hurdles, Owen and Scott displayed an ingenious spirit by crafting an arcade game that not only lit up, but also moved in a meticulously choreographed sequence. Anyways, Owen and Scott's display of technical finesse was nothing short of extraordinary, and it elevated the competition's excitement and suspense to new heights. And I mean, just look at this thing, dude. Like, I bet I 100% know for a fact that you didn't know that a Lego arcade game was real. All right, now picture this. You're trying to make something flat look like it's actually zooming across the room. Not an easy task, right? I mean, why would it be? Well, artists have been cracking that nut for ages, and here's where the Flash enters the scene. This Lego wonder, it's practically a masterclass in showing off the Flash's speed and agility. I mean, the dude's known for being quicker than a hiccup. I don't think anyone's compared it to a hiccup, but you get the point. And this Lego gem captures that essence flawlessly. It's like looking at a hurricane in human form. But to be completely honest, who knew that you could actually add speed lines to a real life structure? Like, this looks really cool. And I bet if you blurred your eyes a bit, it actually looked like he's moving fast. But next up is Toy Story and Lego. You know that feeling when you wonder why the heck Lego and Toy Story haven't joined forces yet? Well, guess what? Because with Toy Story 4 hitting the big screen back in 2019, the stars finally aligned. And this Lego creation, well, it's a nostalgia bomb waiting to explode on your favorite meme pages. I'm never saying that sentence again. That RC car from the OG flick? Yeah, it's not just some prop. It's an unsung hero with a ton of emotional weight weight in the Toy Story saga. We all love our cowboy and spaceman, but the RC car deserves a shout out for sure too. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know that there was a life-size Toy Story like Lego creations ever. So that's pretty cool. Iron Man. Just Iron Man. Let's talk about Marvel for a second. Remember when Iron Man first kicked off his whole superhero movie explosion? Robert Downey Jr. in that snazzy suit set the stage on fire. Fast forward a decade, and here is this Lego Iron Man crafted by the brilliant minds of Ramon and Armador Marcilla. Bro, why does everyone have such complicated names? Tony Stark here? Well, he's got that casual cool vibe, like he's reminiscing about the days when saving the world was just another day in the office. He's practically the wise old sage of the Avengers, and I didn't know that there was a life-size Iron Man version Lego of him. Like, it's pretty crazy. Hobbiton. Hold on to your Hobbit hats, folks, because we've got the Helm's Deep as a blockbuster battle, but let's shift focus to the Hobbiton, the picturesque round-doored haven of hobbits. Bilbo's crib has turned into a real-life tourist attraction in New Zealand. Like, actually, like, it's real life now. And now, thanks to Lego, we can all visit a pint-sized version of this magical place. Seriously, the circular door on the side of the hill is like a VIP ticket to a fantasy world, a world that Tolkien spun into epic tales. Just hope that Lego Gandalf doesn't knock his head. Terrible joke. We're moving on. Charmander. Yes, Lego Charmander. Pokemon and Lego, a duo that's practically destined for greatness. And although there's some knockoffs out there like this or that, they haven't really done it yet. So sure, we've seen Pixar-inspired pocket monsters in brick form, but this Charmander, it's like they caught the essence of this fiery critter and molded it into a 3D Lego art. Not only did they capture Charmander's adorable baby dragon look, but they also managed to infuse its rebellious, sassy attitude as well. And this Lego creation is practically sparking a wildfire of imagination, igniting the kid in all of us. Get it? Igniting, wildfire. I'm moving on. Tiger in a tree. Now let's meet the dynamic duo of another thing, David and Gus. These guys pulled off something that left everyone's jaws hanging in the Out on a Limb challenge during season 3. And get this, they gave birth to Tiger in a Tree. And no, it's not just about stacking blocks, because this thing was a one-way ticket to pushing any boundaries. They mixed together creativity, design, engineering, and a touch of gravity to whip up this masterpiece. And that tiger, it's not just a chunk of bricks, because it's got emotions and features so real that you'd almost expect it to roar. David and Gus, I mean, they're basically Lego wizards who knew how to yank heartstrings with their builds. And bro, I mean, this build is just super massive as well. The Forest. Hold on to your hats just yet, because David and Gus weren't done yet. For the grand finale, they busted out the Forest. But here's the kicker, because they ditched the minifigs and went all artsy with the still life scene. Think paintings, but in Lego form. And let me tell you, that's like a masterclass in Legoing. Precision was the name of the game, and as every teeny tiny detail had to be spot on for the magic to happen. Now, get this. The deer and wolves? Yeah, you could practically feel the anticipation in their Lego eyes. And those trees? Well, they weren't just blocked, because they were the result of a Lego brainstorming storm. The forest wasn't just another build. It was a testament to David and Gus's ability to whisk you away into their Lego dreamscape. The Pharaoh statue. When you envision a pharaoh, the image of a weathered statue in a museum might come to mind. However, prepare to have your expectations shattered as you feast your eyes on a colossal Egyptian pharaoh statue constructed of over 200,000 Lego bricks. Standing tall at 4.8 meters, this Lego masterpiece is a key attraction in the Kingdom of the Pharaohs collection at Legoland Windsor. And what's even more astonishing is the story behind it. This Lego pharaoh embarked on an epic voyage down the Thames River, mirroring the legendary journey of Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead. Anubis's monumental statue also graced the river's waters in the past. And this contemporary spin on historical art is a true testament to creativity and engineering, and who even knew that a pharaoh statue was even made out of Lego to begin with? Largest brick caravan. Get Lego Wall-E. Everyone's favorite lonely bot, Wall-E has been ingeniously brought to life using a variety of Lego pieces. The magic of Lego's robotics and engineering themed sets shines through in this creation, and the result is a moving and expressive Wall-E showcasing the potential of combining Lego's versatile pieces with engineering and principles. Dragon. Just dragon. It's hard to believe that this sea monster is genuinely made out of Lego, because how are people so talented? Greeting visitors at what appears to be a theme park or boat rental business, the dragon brings a touch of childlike wonder to the environment. Its playful design, with parts of a body emerging in and out of the water, creates a whimsical and inviting atmosphere. Or it might freak you away because you might think it's the Loch Ness Monster or something, but I mean, he has a fun face. Look at this guy. In the opening contest of Lego Masters, teams were tasked with creating sections of a minifig scale Lego theme park. These sections were then merged to form a captivating taboo for display. The duo of Aaron Newman and Christian Cowgill stood out with their creation named Spaceland. This build revolved around a crashed alien spaceship featuring a towering motorized Ferris wheel that stole the spotlight. This competition not only introduced the teams, but also set the tone for the entire season. And of course, the winners of the initial round earned the Golden Brick, a coveted token providing immunity from elimination in a future round. But who knew that something like this even existed? I mean, maybe you did. Largest Lego cherry blossom tree. Motorcycle. Have you ever considered the art of capturing your Lego creations in striking photographs? Toy photography has become a hidden gem in the age of the internet. Case in point, this incredible Lego motorcycle creation, well, it's just more than just a building because it's about positioning and posing the toy in ways that make it feel absolutely real. Remember those childhood fantasies of placing action figures on a sleek motorcycle ready to conquer villains and save the day? Well, this motorcycle creation brings that dream to life. The level of detail and craftsmanship isn't just about the bricks, it's about the story it tells and the dynamic poses it strikes. Largest Lego brick Ferris wheel. Imagine a Ferris wheel made entirely from Lego bricks, 37,000 of them to be exact. I'm not gonna get this name right, but Thomas Kasparik from the Czech Republic took on the impressive project that took around 200 hours of effort to complete. Inspired by the iconic London Eye, Thomas faced the challenge of constructing a circular frame that could actually hold the shape without breaking. And the result? Well, a towering Lego Ferris wheel that stands at an impressive height of 3.64 meters, or to be more specific, 11 feet and 11 inches tall, and features 43 carriages for the ultimate Lego amusement ride experience. Anyways, I know Lego Ferris wheels are a thing, but did you know that there was this big of a Lego Ferris wheel out there? Victorian House. In the Harry Potter and Company. When it comes to massive Lego creations, building one life-size character from your favorite franchise isn't impressive enough. Now, picture not one, not two, but 4 iconic characters standing tall and proud. And we're not just talking about any characters. It's none other than Harry, Ron, Hermione, and the lovable giant Hagrid, all brought to life with Lego bricks. The sheer scale of this creation with Hagrid towering beside his friends is just also mind-blowing. You can only imagine the logistical puzzle of getting Hagrid onto the conventional floor, and it's just a whole new level of fandom dedication. Earl Grey the elephant. Meet Earl Grey, the Lego version of an African elephant that's taking the brick world by storm. Standing at around 2.4 meters or 8 feet tall and weighing a whopping 1,500 kilograms, this isn't your typical Lego set you'll find on store shelves. With an impressive 271,739 Lego bricks meticulously pieced together, it's a true feat of artistic engineering. But Earl Grey isn't just a standalone masterpiece. It's a part of the captivating Great Brick Safari Collection, a gathering of 80 Lego animal models representing the Wild Kingdom. From fierce tigers and lions to majestic ostriches and gorillas, this collection for sure brings the wild side to life in vibrant Lego form. If you thought Earl Grey was impressive, consider this. The entire collection is composed of a staggering 1,023,839 Lego bricks and weighs a hefty 5,365 kilograms. And get this, it also took 65 talented Lego builders from Bright Bricks and over 9 months to bring this incredible exhibit to life. The Clockwork Man, Episode 3, Richard and Finn. In the Cut in Half challenge on Lego Masters, Richard Broad and Finn DeMarco demonstrated not only their building prowess, but also their incredible partnership. Their winning creation, the Clockwork Man, combined imagination and mechanics in a moving sculpture. This masterpiece extended from a wooden cuckoo clock mounted on a transparent plastic wall. While following the judge's request for a sculpture, it also narrated a charming story through its minifigure ornaments. The tale of the Clockwork Man unfolded in a village sheltered under a giant clock, constructing a guardian to ensure time never seized its rhythm. This build showcased a poetic yet literal interpretation of the challenge's source objects, cementing Richard and Finn's unity as a winning duo. And finally, Chaba Lobster in the Bricky Bog by Caleb and Jacob. Hopefully I said that right. Picture a challenge that tasks teams with creating a creature that embodies both land and sea. In the Whirlwind episode titled Land and Sea on LEGO Master Season 2, the remaining 5 teams faced their ultimate test. Evil Will, a mischievous counterpart of the host Will Arnett, threw down the gauntlet, forcing pairs to initially build a land or sea creature and then merge them into a captivating hybrid. In a twist that perplexed many, Caleb and Jacob rose to the occasion. The twin brothers ingeniously merged their land creature, a chameleon, with their sea creature, a lobster, giving birth to the awe-inspiring chameleon lobster. Oh, that's how you say it. Anyways, that's kind of it for the video. There was a lot of new things I didn't think people covered in this one, but let me know what you think, and let me know if I missed anything else, or if you didn't know any of these things were real. And also, subscribe! Do it now! Subscribe! Oh my god!
From LEGO's Power Functions IR Speed remote getting way too hot, to one of LEGO's staff completely goofing up in their factory, here are some of LEGO's worst mistakes. We start off with a Ninjago City set from the LEGO Ninjago movie. I noticed that they were a bit lazy in getting rid of some of the early markings on the boxes. You know, those rough outlines of the minifigures' names they sometimes have at the bottom. Yeah, those markings were still hanging around. They forgot to remove Kai's name from the box. If you check it out, it literally says Kai in black letters right on top of his minifigure. They must have missed removing that text, probably because they were in a rush or just didn't pay enough attention. Let's face it though, hardly anyone notices unless you're really looking closely. Still, it's kinda cool to spot these little things. And guess what? It's not just on the physical boxes. It's even there on the box images online. So if you're into LEGO ideas, you might have heard about this next mistake. The LEGO Flintstones set was supposed to be the 24th LEGO Ideas set, and it still holds that title. But here's where it gets interesting. The next set that came out after that was Steamboat Willie, and guess what? It was also labeled as number 24. That's pretty weird, isn't it? LEGO did not bother changing the number for this set. They kept selling it with the number 24 on it for quite a while before finally fixing it. It actually took consumers pointing out the mistake to LEGO. Even on their official website, you could buy the set with the wrong number on it. Eventually, LEGO acknowledged the error and said they would fix it for future sets. Now there are Steamboat Willie sets out there with both numbers 24 and 25. So, if you're a completionist trying to collect all the sets, does that mean you need to grab both versions? Or no? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's move on to the LEGO catalogs, because they're always a mixed bag of surprises. Take this LEGO City page, for example. They accidentally featured the same set twice, with different names, but the exact same picture. Looks like someone forgot to swap out the image. At least they got the names and prices right though. Then there's this classic blunder in an old catalog where they mixed up Minecraft characters, labeling the villager as a zombie and vice versa. And they've also got the mix-up with Frodo and Gandalf in one of the Lord of the Rings sets. Next, let's talk about a big mistake in the Batman movie collectible minifigures line. Inside each blind bag, you usually get this little checklist or pamphlet showing all of the characters. Well, one character, Catman, got a bit misrepresented. On the brick-built version of him, his legs are yellow on top and brown on the bottom. But on the checklist for number 16, it's the other way around. Brown on top, yellow on the bottom. Someone didn't quite match up the colors right. It's a pretty noticeable difference that slipped through the cracks before they mass-produced them and stuffed them all into those foil bags. If you're a fan of the LEGO Star Wars Rogue One sets, you gotta check this out. A rogue error was discovered on Krennic's Imperial Shuttle Set 75156. On the front of the box, K2SO is shown without a blaster, but on the back, the battle scene depicts K2SO with a blaster, along with 2 Death Troopers with medium blasters. This caused some confusion as the set does not include a blaster for K2SO. The parts list in the instruction manual was checked, confirming that only 2 medium blasters for the Death Troopers are included. This indicates that the battle scene on the box is incorrect, likely reflecting an earlier design where K2SO had a blaster, which was later changed. Although K2SO does not come with a blaster, this should clarify any concerns about a missing blaster. It's simply a box printing error. Next up is the Smooth Hair Leia minifigure. It's a rare and super cool version that showed up in early 2009 LEGO Star Wars sets and some 2006 X-Wing sets. Instead of having the usual detailed bumpy hair, this Princess Leia has smooth hair. This happened because the wrong mold was used on the assembly line. Now, these minifigures are considered collectibles and can sell for about $200 each on sites like eBay and Bricklink. Collectors love them because they're rare and have an interesting story about how they were made by mistake. Next in line is the LEGO Ideas Wall-E set that came out in 2015. It had this big problem where the head would just keep swiveling too much, making the whole thing wobbly and not fun to play with. Because of this mess, they had to recall it in North America and push back the release in Europe, which was supposed to happen on September 1st, 2015. LEGO finally admitted they goofed up about 2 months after the first release. They tried to fix it by sending out new instructions and parts to make the head work better by December 2015. Those who snagged the set before the fix got hooked up with these new parts, so their Wall-E wouldn't be all wonky anymore. So, in the beginning, the LEGO Back to the Future Time Machine set had a bit of a hiccup. They printed SHIELD as SHIELD, with the E before I on the flux capacitor panel in the first batches. Not exactly matching the movie there. When they caught the mistake, the LEGO Kuso team stepped up and apologized. They even offered to swap out the wrong pieces for anyone who wanted the correct version. Pretty cool move by LEGO, wouldn't you say? It meant that fans and collectors could get a more spot-on version of the iconic time-traveling machine from the movies. Okay, so let's talk about the LEGO Ant-Man set from back in 2015. There was this big issue with the legs of the main build. They just couldn't handle too much weight and would give out, which is a total bummer. This problem messed with how sturdy and fun the set was supposed to be. Originally, it was supposed to hit the shelves on June 1st, 2015, but a lot of stores had to pull it off pretty quickly. They came back with the fix later in June, adding 6 more Technic axles to beef up the legs and make them stronger. The faulty sets got recalled and taken out of circulation. It's kinda cool though. Because of all this drama, the sets become a hot item for collectors. Back in 2009, LEGO had to do a quick recall on its Power Functions IR Speed Remote because it had this big problem where it would get way too hot. Even though nobody got hurt, it was still a pretty serious safety issue, but LEGO did not mess around. They pulled the remotes off the shelves fast. About a month later, they brought them back, all fixed up and safe to use. You can still snag one of these remotes on LEGO's website, showing that they take safety seriously and want to make sure their products are top-notch. Now, there was this LEGO Technic Porsche 911 GT3 RS set that came out for a hefty $300. But the crazy thing is, the gears were all out of order. Instead of the usual 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence, they went 1, 3, 2, 4. Imagine the confusion for all the car buffs and LEGO lovers who wanted that authentic gear action. But hold up, LEGO had an explanation. They claimed they did it on purpose to make the model run smoother. Apparently, if they stuck to the correct gear sequence, too many gears would be engaged at once, messing with how well the model worked. Of course, don't worry, they didn't leave gear heads hanging. LEGO provided instructions to tweak the gear sequence for those who wanted their Porsche to operate just like the real deal, even if it meant sacrificing a bit of that smooth ride. Moving on, we've got the 2015 LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar, which hit a little snag with its packaging. It claimed to have this exclusive Darth Vader minifigure, but here's the twist. That figure was actually from the 2014 calendar. LEGO had to do some quick thinking to fix this blunder, especially in Europe, where the release got held up. They ended up sending out stickers to stores to cover up the wrong info on the packaging. Can't have people thinking that they're getting something that they're not, right? The whole mix-up just goes to show how important it is to get the packaging details right. Now, back in 2006, LEGO rolled out the NXT Intelligent Brick, which was pretty cool. But by 2011, some problems started popping up with the displays. For example, they'd flicker or just stop working in sets like 8527, 9797, and 9841. Of course, LEGO did not just sit around twiddling their thumbs. They got their ambassador group on it, spreading the word to users and telling them to hit them up for replacements. It wasn't a huge disaster or anything, but having wonky displays definitely put a damper on the fun. Props to LEGO for stepping up and making things right for their customers. Alright, so in 2016, LEGO dropped the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 and 2 set, which was pretty hyped. Now, there are 3 different versions of the figure Holtzman that were featured in the promo pics. There was one without glasses, one with goggles, and one with glasses. However, when fans got their hands on the actual set, they only got 2 of those versions. The one with glasses but no vest was nowhere to be found. Talk about a letdown. To make matters worse, LEGO did not announce any more Ghostbuster sets after that, which left fans scratching their heads about this weird mix-up. Now, if you're already a huge LEGO fan back in 2010, I'm sure you know that LEGO dropped their big-time Technic set, the motorized excavator. But guess what? It received some criticism right off the bat for its weak digging arm. People were bummed because the arm just could not handle the heavy lifting. Turns out, the linear actuator could not handle the strain, especially with all those gear wheels in the mix. So after just 2 weeks on the shelves in August 2010, LEGO pulled it back to the drawing board. When it came back in October though, it was like a whole new machine. They beefed up the arm with extra actuators and a few extra pieces, making it way stronger. And you know what? It worked like a charm. Technic fans were all over it, loving the upgrade. Technic Bricks even did a detailed breakdown comparing the old and new parts to show off the improvement. Diving into the LEGO White House set from the architecture line, we come across a major goof to the instruction manual. If your knowledge of the White House might not be top-notch, let's just say that there's an East Wing and a West Wing. As you're cruising through the build and moving to the West Wing section in the manual, there's something quite off. The instructions had the West and East Wings all mixed up. Page 84 should have been the East Wing, but it had West Wing info. Talk about confusing. Many fans online had noticed this as well. Apparently, LEGO had fixed it for online instructions and future sets, but if you were one of those who got them upon release, you got the short end of the stick. Although this doesn't ruin the build, it's definitely puzzling. I mean, how did something like this slip through quality control? This is why it's super important to double check things before hitting print. Despite the mix-up though, the set itself is still pretty cool. So back in 2015, LEGO hit a huge blunder when they had to pull back 129,000 sets because of a mess up with gray colors. Instead of the dark gray bits they were supposed to have, they ended up with light gray ones. Turns out, someone in their bill on factory slapped the wrong color label on a tube. This mistake alone cost them around $1 million, but luckily, they caught it before the sets hit the shelves. Still, they had to hustle, calling in people from the Czech Republic and Hungary to sort things out. To avoid future oopsies, they dropped around $58,000 on changing up the factory lighting and letting workers pre-print color labels. Despite the setback, LEGO's overall revenue in 2016 was sky high, nearly hitting $5 billion. Oh, and the person behind the mix-up? They didn't catch any consequences for it. Inside a LEGO Club magazine from January to February 2013, there's an ad featuring LEGO sets inspired by The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey. Now, let's say your favorite character is Bomber. Try to match the name with a corresponding LEGO figure, but wait, something seems off. According to the LEGO ad, Bomber had been mislabeled as Bofer. It's a small but glaring error that leaves you scratching your head. And guess what? The mistakes don't end there. Although a bit disappointing to discover such errors in a beloved brand like LEGO, it's also a reminder that even the most reputable companies can slip up from time to time. How many mistakes can you spot in this picture? Now, in the LEGO creator Harley Fatboy set, there's this sticker that's supposed to say Milwaukee 8, but guess what? Yup, another spelling mistake. Instead of Milwaukee, it's spelled as Milwauk, completely forgetting the other E. Pretty minor mistake, but it definitely takes away from the set's packaging vibe. So you've got this R2-D2 LEGO figure, right? It looks fine when you first check it out, but if you really take a look, you'll notice something off. The colors on different parts aren't quite lining up like they should. It's a small detail, but it definitely messes with the figure's overall look. But it's not just about the aesthetics, because this printing goof actually affects how much collectors are willing to pay for it. Now, this classic yellow space minifigure doesn't seem quite right. The torso's print is leaning to one side instead of sitting straight like it should. It's not a huge deal, but it definitely throws off the balance and symmetry of the minifigure. Despite that, collectors are all over it, selling at a whopping $1,200 and even higher. Now check out this Stormtrooper head. Yeah, it's got a little issue. The eyes are all wrong. It is totally different from the usual design. It's definitely noticeable, and it kinda messes with the whole look of the character. And guess what? The selling price of this Stormtrooper misprint is $75. Believe it or not, there's this Tusken Raider LEGO minifigure that's causing quite a stir in the collector's world. What's the big deal? Well, this particular one has a face print that's slightly lower than it should be. It's a subtle misprint, but it's got collectors going wild. So wild, in fact, that this little guy is selling for a jaw-dropping $5,000. Now, that's a pretty penny for a tiny plastic figure. But hey, when you're a die-hard LEGO fan, you will pay top dollar for those rare gems. Now, speaking of pricey minifigures, there's this Spider-Gwen minifigure here. It looks pretty normal, except for one little detail. Her torso is printed on the wrong color body. Instead of the usual white body, it's sitting on an orange one. Now, you might think, what's the big deal? Well, this seemingly small error has turned this Spider-Gwen into a hot commodity among collectors. In fact, it's currently on the market for a mind-blowing $10,000. That's correct. 5 figures for just a tiny plastic figure. So let's talk about the LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle set 71043. Now, this set is a real gem for any Harry Potter fan, but unfortunately, some customers have encountered a bit of a hiccup upon cracking open the box. Missing pieces. Yep, you heard that right. Despite LEGO's usually top-notch quality control, a few folks have found themselves with incomplete sets due to errors in packaging. Now, don't worry too much. It's not a widespread issue, but it's definitely a bummer for those who've experienced it. Luckily, LEGO's customer service is known for being pretty stellar, so if you find yourself in this situation, they should be able to help you out and get those missing pieces sorted. Now, this C-3PO minifigure with a red leg is a fun example of a LEGO misprint, adding an unexpected twist to the iconic Star Wars character. Normally, C-3PO is completely gold, so the red leg here really stands out. This misprint shows C-3PO with one red leg instead of his usual gold one, making it a noticeable and rare mistake that collectors find intriguing and potentially valuable. Interestingly, this misprint reminds fans of C-3PO's red arm in The Force Awakens, even though it's his leg that is red here. Collectors love misprints because they're rare and unique. A C-3PO with a red leg could be a valuable addition to a LEGO collection. Depending on interest and condition, this misprint could sell for a good amount. The two-faced head misprint is a rare and interesting LEGO mistake, where a minifigure head gets printed twice, resulting in two side-by-side faces. This happens due to a glitch in the printing machine, causing the head to be stamped again while the ink from the first stamp is still wet. A misprint like this can sell for up to $250. Even though it's a mistake, the two-faced head has a quirky charm. The mix of facial features can make it look like a piece of abstract art, appealing to both LEGO fans and art lovers. So this brown arch brick with a hole-in-one stud and an incomplete front is a cool example of a LEGO manufacturing mistake. This kind of error, known as a short shot, happens when there's not enough plastic injected into the mold, leaving parts of the piece incomplete. This can be due to a blockage, low plastic levels, or incorrect settings on the machine. Sometimes, debris in the mold can also cause these issues. The Tasmanian Devil minifigure with eye placement issues is a humorous example of a LEGO misprint, where the eyes of the character are printed in the wrong position, resulting in a comical expression. Instead of being properly aligned, the eyes appear low and skewed to one side. Despite being a mistake, the misaligned eyes give the Tasmanian Devil minifigure a unique and endearing quality, making it a desirable addition to collectors who appreciate unusual LEGO finds. And last on the list, we've got the Spider-Man Final Battle Set's instruction booklet, which was a bit of a mess. It was printed sideways and stapled on the wrong side, making it a headache to follow. It's like trying to build with the manual flipped on its side and all jumbled up. While wonky instructions aren't as exciting as misprinted pieces, they're still cool finds for collectors. Dealing with them makes you rely more on your own skills, turning building into a bit of a puzzle. Despite the potential frustration, it's pretty satisfying to conquer the challenge and finish the set anyway. Which LEGO mistake did you find interesting? Leave a comment below and let us know what other LEGO mistakes you may have encountered. Thanks for watching.
From an entire list of iconic characters like Mickey Mouse and Deadpool with different missing prints on them, to unexpected typos like minifigures in the Harley Fat Boy set, here are some rare and different misprints that add a unique twist to LEGO as a whole. Kicking things off with figures that have completely missing prints. First off, we've got the alien from Toy Story, and this one's just a bit eerie because it's missing all eye printing, like all of it. Imagine 3 blank eye sockets staring back at you. Definitely a rare find, though these kinds of misprints are more common than you might expect. I mean, that looks a bit creepy though. But moving on now, we have Mickey Mouse, and there are a couple of interesting misprints here too. One version has absolutely no eye printing, which makes Mickey look kind of spooky and, similar to the alien from Toy Story, and the other has its eyes printed way down at the bottom of these sockets, giving Mickey a very unusual and unsettling appearance. Both of these variations, however, have been around for a while, so you might just come across one of them before. But now let's even talk about Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. Here's yet another figure with no eye printing at all on the upper eye parts. It's actually a pretty unique find, especially since SpongeBob misprints aren't all that common. And look, I'm not sure if you noticed, but it seems like a lot of these quirky misprints tend to show up more in collectible minifigure series, but that's maybe just because they're produced in different factories or batches, who really knows. Shifting gears, however, to Ninjago, there is also this Kai minifigure where the face print is slightly shifted up, and this means that the eyes end up at the top of the bandana, which gives it a bit of an unconventional look. Although it's not a major misprint like some of the other ones, it's definitely interesting to spot. Another Ninjago figure though to check out is one where the entire face print is pushed down. Picture this, the mouth ends up on the chin and the eyes are where the nose should be. It results in a figure with a massive forehead and a rather comical appearance. I mean, just look at this thing. But another collectible minifigure is the Boxer. On one side, everything's fine, but on the other, where there should be bruising, there's none at all. It's a straightforward misprint, but still noteworthy for collectors who appreciate these kinds of variations. Like a Boxer with no bruising, that's kind of just useless. But here, moving on, take a look at Dracula from Monster Fighters, because this one's interesting also. The mouth ends up at the bottom opening of the stud meant for the chin, and the eyes are positioned way down at the bottom of the face. And honestly, it gives Dracula an unintentionally funny and exaggerated forehead, making it one of the more humorous misprints out there. It's kind of funny. But then there is this baby minifigure where its face is printed on the top of the head and the mouth awkwardly placed on the forehead. Now, I know the picture is a bit blurry, but it still displays the amusing yet adorable misprint of this, little baby minifigure. Or how about Dr. Herbert from the Simpsons series. And this figure is yet again another example where the eye printing is missing, leaving just 2 black dots. What's up with all the eye misprints? Why is it so common? Or even the Cheshire Cat from another collectible minifigure series. I mean, this one's just a real mess. The eyes, the nose, and the mouth are all off center and jumbled up. It's chaotic, but honestly, it's pretty captivating too. I mean, just look at it. And next up is Loki, whose head print is slightly lowered. Now, you may think it's not a huge change, but it's definitely noticeable and it adds a unique twist to the character's look. And sticking with Marvel, Black Widow, there is a version where her face has a bit too much black ink around the eyes. I mean, that looks a little weird. And when you compare it to the regular version, it's clear that something definitely changed during the printing process. And now moving to DC, there is Two-Face, where one side of the face has purple ink instead of the usual black. This kind of variation is quite the discovery, especially from older collections where you might find unexpected surprises like this. And back to Marvel with Deadpool, but not for his usual antics. This figure completely missed a step during the printing process, like completely. And if you guessed correctly, the leg pouch is completely missing. Unlike misprints where the details are off, sometimes parts just skip a printing step altogether. And how about Hulk from Age of Ultron? Because in one variant, only half of his pants got printed. It's quite strange and almost comical to see such a big character, especially for Lego, with half of its attire missing in action. Coming up next, Indiana Jones steps into the spotlight with not one, but 2 misprints. One figure has a messed up leg printing, while the other has a belt and a holster that are completely misaligned. Honestly, it's interesting to see how these kinds of mistakes can even slip through quality control. And one of the crazier examples is the iconic Spider-Man, where both the head and torso are misprinted. The eyes spill out of the usual black borders on the head, and the torso's silver detailing is incomplete. Despite these flaws though, it is a piece that we can all appreciate because it's quite rare and unique. Moving along, take a look at the 501st Stormtrooper with a seriously skewed helmet print. It's another example where the printing didn't quite align as intended, creating a striking visual difference from the standard design. Then there's the Scarlet Witch, whose tiara is almost completely misprinted in one version. These kinds of misprints can really change the appearance of a figure, adding a quirky charm to the collection. Like, honestly, would you even care if your figure looked like this? But perhaps one of the most amusing misprints is the backward printed Chewbacca. Imagine his nose on the back of his head and the bandolier belt facing the wrong way. It's a total accident during the printing process, but ends up becoming a cherished piece due to its unusual and funny nature. Moving on to a regular Stormtrooper though, there is a small misprint on the visor where it's pushed down about a centimeter. It's not a major flaw, but it's definitely noticeable if you look closely. And next, we have a TIE Fighter pilot with a similar issue. The Imperial symbols and the face details are printed slightly lower than they should be. For reference, this is what it looks like. Now let's talk about a more notable misprint involving Greedo from 2014. This minifigure has misprinted eyes that are lower than they should be. Why is it the eyes? This gives Greedo a bit of a funny, sad expression, which contrasts with his usual confident demeanor. Poor guy. Sticking with Star Wars though, Quinlan Vos, hopefully I'm saying that name right, there is a variant from the Republic Frigate set where one version has a more defined beard and mustache compared to the other, for whatever reason. And here's another fascinating find, a Death Watch Mandalorian with no visor print at all. Instead of the usual black visor, it's just a plain gray where the visor should be. Or here, check out this strange looking minifigure head with a line across the top and a circle under its left eye. It's pretty creepy looking, which makes it way more appealing in my opinion. It's just that much different. Then we have this Lego City minifigure with a torso that was supposed to be bright red but turned out much darker. Imagine expecting a vibrant red and getting a deep shade instead. It's a bit disappointing if you're following the set instructions closely because it can honestly confuse you. And of course, moving back to Greedo from the original Mos Eisley Cantina set, there is a version where Lego forgot to print on his right arm. And that's a pretty noticeable oversight considering how detailed these figures usually are. Now, here's a Senate Trooper with a backward helmet print. It looks fine from afar, but upon closer inspection, you do realize the print is on the wrong side of the helmet. Next up, an original 2005 Episode 3 Anakin Skywalker minifigure with an incomplete torso print. It seems like they only got the base layer of the lighter tan color, missing all the intricate details along the way. The comparison to what it should look like really highlights the mistake as well. I mean, look at these two. Then there's a 212th Trooper helmet that is completely lopsided. Unlike the Senate Trooper's backward print, this one is just skewed to the side, making it look unusual and just kind of comical too. We now even encounter a Shadow Trooper from 2007 with another helmet print that's shifted down and to the left. It gives off the illusion that the Trooper's head is turned towards you even though the helmet itself is straight. It's a subtle little detail but adds to an interesting dynamic to the figure. And plus, here's yet another Chewbacca misprint where the head print is placed way too low, making his face and smile appear on his torso. It's such a strange strange look that almost passes as a makeshift beard if you try squinting or if you squint hard enough. And still speaking of Star Wars, you may have noticed that there is quite a few, well, a lot of Star Wars misprints in this video. So by the end of the video, comment down how many Star Wars misprints you were actually able to keep up with and which one surprised you the most. And I wasn't kidding, because check out this cool Boba Fett with a helmet misprint that gives him a unique battle-worn look. It almost appears like he got blood splatters across his helmet as if he just came out of a rough skirmish. It's such a standout misprint that would definitely add some character to any collection. Moving on to a 2011 ARC Trooper with a subtle but cool misprint on the torso. It seems like the printer was low on ink or something, because the usual dark gray torso ended up lighter. It's one of those details you might miss at first glance, but once you notice it, it's pretty neat to see how even the small printing errors can change the whole look of a minifigure as a whole. Next, there's a Stormtrooper Shock Trooper with a shifted helmet print. The eye and top prints are noticeably off-center, giving the trooper a slightly askew appearance. Take a look at this R2-D2 figure. At first glance, it seems normal, but take a closer look and you'll notice that the colors on different sections are a bit misaligned. It's a very subtle flaw, but it definitely disrupts the usual sleek appearance of everyone's favorite droid. On top of that, there's this classic yellow space minifigure. Something seems off though, right? Well, that's because the torso print is leaning to one side instead of being perfectly centered. Now, I know it's not a major flaw, but it definitely does throw off the symmetry quite a bit. Surprisingly enough though, despite the imperfection, collectors are all about this, with the prices soaring as high as $1,200 or even more. Now check out this Stormtrooper head with a noticeable issue. The eyes are completely wrong. It gives the character a distinct and somewhat peculiar look compared to the standard design. Despite its quirky appearance, this misprinted Stormtrooper head is fetching around $75 on the collector's market. Moving on to something really unique though, LEGO game controllers that were making waves among collectors. These aren't just any controllers though. They were short shot during production, meaning they didn't quite come out in the correct shape. Some even have missing prints, adding to their allure. However, these quirky pieces are commanding prices though of about $35 each, proving that even manufacturing errors can become highly sought after in the LEGO community and people that just collect LEGO in general. Alright, let's zoom in on the LEGO Creator Harley Fatboy set for just a moment. Picture this, you're eagerly unboxing your brand new set, excited to dive into building your very own Harley Davidson Fatboy replica. But wait, what's this? As you peel off the sticker meant to showcase the iconic Milwaukee 8 engine, you'll notice something's not quite right. Instead of spelling out Milwaukee in full glory, the sticker reads Milwaukee, missing that crucial second E at the end. It's a very small detail, sure, but for anyone familiar with the Harley-Davidson lore or just someone who appreciates accuracy in their collectibles, it's a bit of a bummer in a way. Now, brace yourself for the Tusken Raider minifigure that caused a stir. What's the big deal, you might ask? Well, the face print is just slightly lower than it should be, a subtle misprint that has collectors scrambling to add it to their collections. Because this tiny figure right here is currently valued at an astonishing $5,000. I'll say that again, $5,000. It's amazing how a minor printing error can turn a LEGO minifigure into a valuable treasure. $5,000! And now let's talk about Spider-Gwen, everyone's favorite with a twist. At first glance, she does look normal, but her torso is printed on the wrong color body, orange instead of the usual white. This small but significant error has transformed Spider-Gwen into a hot commodity among collectors, with current listings reaching an incredible $10,000! $10,000! That's a hefty price tag for a small plastic figure, but it does show you the dedication and passion of some LEGO enthusiasts who are willing to pay top dollar for these rare and unique items. I mean, be honest, would you buy a pricey misprint of your favorite LEGO minifigure? Like, would you spend this much? Let me know in the comments. I mean, just take a look at the C-3PO minifigure sporting a red leg. Now, normally C-3PO is all gold, but this misprint gives him a unique twist with that standout red leg. Now, I think he had a red arm sometime somewhere, but it kind of reminds me of his red arm in The Force Awakens, except this time it's his leg stealing the show. These kinds of unexpected errors make collectors go wild, and C-3PO with a red leg could easily fetch hundreds of dollars on platforms like eBay. Moving on to another amusing misprint, we have the Tasmanian Devil minifigure with misaligned eyes. Instead of being properly centered, the eyes are printed low and to the side, giving this figure a charmingly quirky look. Despite being a mistake, this misprint has become a favorite among collectors. Now, let's get into the fascinating Two-Face head misprint, another Two-Face misprint. This one's a real gem though, a rare LEGO error where a minifigure head ends up with two faces printed side by side. Imagine that, like no joking, two faces side by side. It's like a double dose of personality in one figure. These misprints happen due to a glitch in the printing process, and they're highly sought after. I mean, some collectors are even willing to pay up to $250 for just one of these pieces. But let me show you something really cool. This Toad block I stumbled upon. Normally, these blocks only have printing on one side, but this little guy here, he's got printing all over. It's such a hilarious sight, but honestly, it does add some charm. Who wouldn't crack a smile seeing Toad completely covered in print? It's not just funny though, it's downright cute. Now, check out this Black Panther misprint head. Instead of the usual color scheme, it's printed on this tannish flesh tone. It's a subtle difference for sure, but it does give Black Panther a totally unique look. And then there's the yellow-faced, jaundiced looking Batman. You don't see these every day. Yellow-faced minifigures are a rare find nowadays since LEGO moved on to different color schemes years ago. This makes the yellow-faced Batman a real gem for collectors. Imagine having such a piece in your collection. It's not even just about rarity at this point, you're basically owning a piece of LEGO history. Up next, take a look at this security keypad with a goofy misprint on it. Instead of being printed the usual way, it's completely reversed, printing over the brick stud. Look at this thing. This thing looks completely whack. Or even check out Cole's headpiece from the Sons of Garmadon sets. The printing on his eyebrows and eyes didn't quite make it, creating an unusual look due to an ink problem during printing. Or moving on to Sensei Wu from 2012, this minifigure is missing its signature gold detailing. Normally adorned with bright metallic gold accents, this one ended up without them, almost like the printer completely ran out of gold paint mid-production. Let's talk about the N-Pop girl from the LEGO Ninjago movie series. One side of her face is completely devoid of the black detailing, which gives her a slightly eerie yet strangely captivating appearance. And jumping back to 2011, there is a common misprint issue seen in a Kai minifigure. The eyes aren't aligned properly with the mask's center point, and the scar prints are lighter and less defined than usual, making this misprint a noticeable standout. Or even from the 2012 Serpentine Wave, we have a ZX Ninja mask printed on a green piece instead of a standard white. To top it off though, the print itself is incomplete, suggesting a glitch in the printing process that led to an unfinished product as a whole. Or even moving forward to the Ninjago City set from the LEGO Ninjago movie, there is a misprint where a printed piece is noticeably off-center, detracting from its intended design, and it's irking perfectionists everywhere. I mean, doesn't that just bug you a bit? Just a little bit? Or hey, look, remember the 2012 Lloyd minifigure from the collectible series? Early releases saw his hair mistakenly printed in a gray instead of its intended color, an error that was later corrected in subsequent versions, but how do you even make that mistake? Gray hair? Are you kidding? Gray hair? But now onto a rare find, the Samukai misprint. In this instance, the facial printing around his nose and upper mouth is completely absent, giving Samukai an unintended and rather distinctive appearance. Shifting gears to a Sons of Garmadon Kai minifigure, here's one with the logo misprinted off to the side and lower than intended. This small yet noticeable misalignment adds a quirky touch to this particular figure. And here we even have a standout misprint involving General Cryptor. This minifigure is missing the characteristic red dots on its headgear, which are typically a defining feature of Ninjroids in the LEGO universe. Time to mix things up now, because who here is a fan of Harry Potter? Because guess what? We got some Harry Potter misprints on this list too. I mean, for instance, check out this misprint of Harry Potter himself. Imagine his iconic glasses on his headpiece, but they're printed slightly off to the side. This misprint does give him this cool 3D effect, like the glasses are popping out. It is a subtle misprint, but it definitely adds a unique touch to his minifigure. But onto a real gem, Dobby with his misprinted eyes. This version of Dobby is probably the creepiest you'll ever see. The eye prints are totally wonky. One almost is touching his forehead and the other is down near his cheek. It's hilarious and a bit unsettling for sure at the same time, but it is perfect for anyone collecting odd Legos. Then there's poor Hedwig. The owl's eyes are completely missing. And if that wasn't enough already, the black tip of its beak ended up beside where it should be. It's like Hedwig decided to go incognito with invisible eyes and a misplaced beak tip. Definitely a conversation starter among Lego enthusiasts for sure. Or even moving along to Basilic's body. At first glance, it might seem fine, but look closer. The scales are printed all wrong. Instead of wrapping around where they should be, they're down on the stomach area. It's as if the printing machine got a little confused and flipped the design upside down. It's quirky to say the least and makes you wonder how these things happen. And of course, the infamous orange Dementor head. Now this one's got a bit of a cult following in the misprint world. Imagine a Dementor deciding to dress up for Halloween and getting an orange spray tan instead of the usual gray. It's like a jack-o'-lantern version of a Dementor, and it's oddly charming in its mistaken identity. Alright, anyways, check out this cool Olaf minifigure with the most hilarious and goofiest misprint you'll ever see. His eyes are printed way more on his left side, and his carrot nose practically covers the right eye. Now, if I was a kid and I got this in my Lego set, I'd probably be sad. But as a collector, this misprint version is way better and probably sells for a good price too. And then there's this AT-AT driver where the print is all scrunched up on the left side of the helmet. Honestly, it's also kind of cool in a quirky way. It's got that misprint charm, and the collectors often go nuts over something like this. But now, one of the more really interesting ones is the Jango Fett headpiece printed in red. I'm gonna say that again. Jango Fett headpiece printed in red. It kind of gives off Mandalorian Super Commando vibes, which is a neat departure from the usual colors you'd expect, but I don't even know how they messed this up. And then there's this Dengar figure from 2014 rocking a red Kilgon Dinjin headpiece. Apparently, it's a test print, which means they used cheaper colors to check the prints before going full production. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool how they experiment like that. Or you've even got this Umbarian soldier with a bright light orange head instead of the usual medium lavender. It's a subtle tweak, but it definitely changes up the look of the figure. And how about that Gamorrean guard missing the nose and belt print? It's like a minimalist version, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it does add a unique twist to the usual design. Oh, and then of course there's also the Anakin figure from way back in 2005, missing details like the belt and robe prints. It almost feels like a rare prototype that never got fully printed, making it a real gem for collectors. Like, honestly, if I had something like this, I'd be pretty happy with it. And last but not least, let's rewind to the early days of the Lego Back to the Future Time Machine set, where a small but noticeable error slipped through the cracks. You see, in the initial batches of this beloved set, there was a bit of a typo on the flux capacitor panel. Instead of spelling shield correctly, they accidentally printed it as shelled, with the E before the I. Very common typo, I guess, but that's a little bit crazy for Lego. Now, for fans of the iconic movie franchise, this wasn't exactly movie accurate, right? But here's where Lego really showed their commitment to quality. Once they caught wind of this mistake, the Lego Kuso team, which was responsible for bringing this set to life in the first place through fan support, stepped up to the plate. They didn't just issue an apology, they even went a step further, because Lego offered to replace the incorrect pieces with the right ones for anyone who wanted them. I mean, that's a pretty cool move, don't you think? It means that fans and collectors who wanted their DeLorean time machine to be as accurate as possible could get a corrected version free of charge. They don't got to worry about anything. They made it super easy for everyone. So anyways, which one was your favorite Lego misprint and why? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, subscribe!